Taking the cheeks of Benley is like removing the booze of Hinata. You don't do that.
I'm glad the stream heard that first. Hey guys,
Oh boy.
it's us. We got no D&D, just a bunch of people.
What is? Oh,
Don't shut up. It's my intro. There's no intro.
Wow.
Hey guys.
Okay, we don't get a recap of the last session.
In the last session we ended it. Today's the Q&A. Very quick, short, sweet, to the point. I'm gonna talk like a Disney Channel host for the next 2 hours.
Please don't. Just talk like yourself.
Bring in a question from over here.
Oh hell no.
We got at
I have no questions.
your mom
please,
3649 asking, "Hey, when is the Q&A gonna start? I came here for answers and not this shit." Well, your mom
Yeah, why you commenting in your own stream?
That's crazy. Gotta make them up.
I gotta, you know, I gotta get gotta get in character, you know.
You're actually making me sick. Like,
I'm making all right. So
Look, you canceled out the fucking single sip of an energy drink. Look what you've done.
that's good. I've done my job. Anyways, hello. Today we're answering questions from people that have DM'd me questions, as well as people that are here in the call asking me
Why are you
questions.
Nobody DMing you about this game.
So rude.
Well, that's all the time we got for you today, guys. We're gonna call it here, and I'll catch you all in a couple of years.
You cut him off in the middle of his introduction too. He said, "Don't lie."
bro, I actually do got some questions.
That's great. I'd love to get to those. And actually, we will, because we're gonna start off with we're gonna go campaign through. Can you? I'm gonna put 5 sponges in your mouth, Tarek, full of hot sauce.
I like the sound of that.
Divine, you're getting 2 spoonfuls of cinnamon sugar.
Well, I'm gonna kiss Divine.
Marinated on the inside of a
Anyways, we're starting with campaign 1 questions, which I think everyone but Divine was actually there for campaign 1, surprisingly enough, which is ironic considering Christian joined in campaign 3, but he was actually also there during campaign 1 unofficially as well.
No, he was campaign 0, and he wasn't there for campaign 1.
No, he was there for campaign 1. He had sessions in the middle of campaign 1 as well. He had booked 2 of the rooms.
Met me.
He had booked 2 of the rooms in the Holdo Inn. He had booked 2 of the rooms that were there.
Gabe, did you actually voice the Tabaxi during that, or did you just make that up?
I voiced Max is what I voiced.
You're like, go away.
Yeah, that's like.
I kid you not, that's what he sounded like.
That was the voice. That was the voice that Max used. That was the voice I kept for the entire campaign, for all of Benlin's Tabaxi adventures. Anyways, start with campaign 1 questions. Anyone got any questions from campaign 1?
God.
Any at all? We got campaign was a long while ago.
It's a real long while ago.
It was at least 3 years.
What was the main goal of it?
To recap campaign 1 for the people who didn't see campaign 1, I forgot. Campaign 1 was out on stream. Campaign 1 was the introduction of Aldous and the prequel build up to the huge war you all saw in campaign 2. Start off with the party, some being sent by the Adventurers Guild, some being sent by the Mage Council, some sent by the Security Council, all put into one group and sent off to the state of Evergreen that you would see on the map. I'm going to scroll. I'm also in the game, so you can really see the map. They were sent to Evergreen before it was a crater in the ground, and Evergreen had not reported back in a few weeks, months, with any updates on their supplies being shipped to the main city for export. So the party was sent to investigate. It was found to be a dead zone when it was recently like a lush wildlife ridden valley surrounded by mountains with a huge lake, and it was all dry and deserty. And they encountered, off-stream, they encountered Shada's father, which was unknown at the time, who had gone mad due to explanations he didn't know himself. They encountered Aldous when he was still cursed to be an ancient dragon. And they also encountered the Lizard Folk army that was the one in charge of the entire secret invasion of this place. And this is the whole precursor build up to when Aldous died, his last bit of energy was used to unseal Zen, which is where Campaign 2 kicked off.
Yeah. Basically, Gabe plagiarized the end of World War II.
I did what? I did no such thing.
My man's nuked Evergreen.
I
Fucked up.
Crazy.
Anyways, that was pretty much the summary of Campaign 1. The party was just going around, doing pretty much what they did in Campaigns 2 and 3, which was nothing, until the very last possible moment, and then they did something.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. They went around, they got 2 of 3 triplets killed because they went around for so long doing nothing.
Oh, stop bringing that up, please.
Holdo City got invaded, as well as Evergreen City got invaded, because they did nothing for a while as well. And then they were like, this is a bit more serious. Oh, also, this is the first time we had a character death, which was Eric, who died in the battlefield against Blizzard Oak Army, actually. It was the first.
Would it be the last?
It was
Definitely was
not the last. We got a whole new campaign about the last. But yeah, with the refresher in your minds, everyone, any questions from Campaign 1 before we move into the larger of the 3 campaigns? Any hypotheticals, any possible scenarios that you wanted answers to? What if we...
How do you somehow incorporate genocide into all of your stories?
I did not. There was no genocide in Campaign 3.
What happened to all the lizard folks?
That was Campaign 2. Campaign 2 had the genocide. Campaigns 1 and 3 were clean. Campaigns 1 and 3 were clean, no genocide. Campaign 2 was the big genocide one.
That's when we really got it wrong.
Yeah, any hypothetical, like, what if we surrender? Because you're also given the choice.
Oh my god, yeah! What if we surrendered that time with all this? I really want to know that.
Okay, so originally the concept was if you surrendered. Of course, the campaign would have been cut short there at that point. I would have had to finish writing Campaign 2 a bit sooner. All that would have happened, though, was that when they began the invasion of Brimstone, they would have had Aldous and an entire army already in a huge foothold in Brimstone, which led to the fall of Brimstone a whole lot sooner. Herschel probably wouldn't be alive, because he would have been a guard in Evergreen still at the time. Arwen also probably wouldn't be alive. Gronk.
Oh.
Everyone that died in Evergreen probably would have died a lot later, but a lot less sudden. There'd be a chance for people to be saved if they knew it was happening or it was coming, but no one would know that Zen was arriving had you taken Aldous' plan, because no one would have seen it happening, and no one would have been warned. No one would have been warned about it happening. So it kind of been like, huge beam of light in Evergreen. No one knows what's happening. They're sending guards there or soldiers to investigate, and then the invasion would just kick off almost instantly.
God damn.
It'd been a lot more of a sudden war with a lot less preparation time for you and the rest of the world.
Cool.
So it'd been more like a Terminator kind of thing, where you're the resistance more than fighting armies. Because you recall, they didn't mobilize the armies until after the incident with Aldous was first revealed. And it took them like a few years to fully mobilize everyone to get them in position. So it'd have been like, armies would have been prepared yet, they would have just been scattered around at different bases, and then it would have been boom, the other side would have begun their invasion, and it would have just been like a sweep pretty much, and then like just pocket fighting. Probably a lot similar to the one shot where you had to like hide in alleyways and crap, and then like destroy the huge spire in Lucia. Been more like that, where you had like objectives to like give you a fighting chance of recovering this.
Which one shot? The one where there was no magic?
Yes.
Okay.
But more like, there would have been magic though, but it would have been in the process of the spire being built though in Lucia, because that's like it's always a guarantee in that world where Zen wins, that he builds a spire of anti-magic to make sure that no one can undo anything or rival him at all anyway. So it'd be more like a objective-oriented thing where you and whoever else is alive would be like, we found this spire being built that's gonna nullify magic, or hey, there's a caravan full of like war prisoners here that you can rescue, like that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
That's pretty much what would have happened if you took the deal. The other deal was, of course, I think he asked for Zasheda to join him as well, which was their option, which would have been a whole other route that I had not fully planned. But had it been taken up, it would have also involved the Yuan-Ti Empire a whole lot sooner as well, with Campaign 2 stuff.
I think if you made all this flirt with Zasheda a little more, she would have taken it.
Oh, for sure. Campaign 1 Zasheda for sure, most likely.
Yeah.
She almost took shit in Campaign 2, honestly.
Yeah, she didn't like us until like real close to the end there.
But yeah, because I believe the only time he ever spoke to her was like once when you guys were there to... No, because he didn't see her when went to revive Eric. The ones that went to revive Eric were Zavari, Thok, Elaine, and Dead Body Eric. And then Grim and Zashada were off somewhere else they had ran. But that's what happened if you took the ultimatum. That's the only really. I think that's the only big ultimatum that would have happened in that campaign was that one. But that's what happened there. So we're gonna move on to campaign 2 stuff, which is the huge bulk of like 70 sessions of shit happening.
Wait, no. Can I ask you the campaign 1 session?
Oh yeah, sure.
Question. Okay, cool. What were the experiments that Shada's dad was doing? Like, was he trying to become an anathema also? Like, did that just fuck up?
He was, but it was too late in that for it to work. So it was kind of like. The way I have being an anathema happening is it's like it's a ritual you have to do. It's giving you a part of yourself to get like the stronger connection to your deity, which of course you all know is the Chaos Weaver, and it's just that raw chaotic energy you have to embody. But what happened was in the process of doing such, he failed in fully harnessing that chaotic energy. It just broke his mind because it's just like the far realm energies, but in someone's brain, pretty much, is the way chaos magic works in this, at least in my vision. Is it's all just raw energies from the far realm that were harnessed for the first breed of Yuan-Ti. And he just couldn't handle the more direct connection to the far realm than the rest of his race probably could, including his grandfather, who was killed, was also an anathema, whatever they call it. And I believe it's also in that time where he stumbled across the tomb that had the Holy Knight's sword down there. And it was actually, while he still had some semblance of a plan of what he wanted to do, Leon's spirit in the sword actually kind of mentally... The best way to put it is Leon gaslit Zashada's dad into staying in the tomb so he wouldn't cause any damage. As a spirit, he gasses Zashada's dad to stay in that tomb to not cause more damage. It's like, hey, it's fine out here, bro. You can sit out here and plan all you want, and when you're ready, just go out there. But until then, just keep the sword safe. He was like, yeah, the sword. Yeah, I'll do that. And he just stayed down there.
Nice.
But yeah, going for any other question for campaign 1? We're good? Alright. That was a quicker section there. On to campaign 2.
Hey.
Why the rat so...
Oh, wait.
I think Goblin live.
Since I couldn't ask it earlier because I was in my car. I actually have 2. They're quite small. 1, who was the guy that saved me in a Deus Ex Machina in session 1?
I'm trying to think which one you were talking about here.
He was kind of tribal looking. I think he was one of the default
Did he crash through the wall, that guy?
Yes.
That was the personal guard of the family judge of Evergreen, the state as it was. The member that's a part of the actual Evergreen Council for the Security Council, that was his personal guard. His name was Hogwin, which Eric actually fought him in the duel.
I never would have known that.
Yeah, no, he was... they were holed up in the barracks and the town hall area behind a bunch of rubble they had built up. And when they saw you arrive, they're like, oh shit, someone's in danger. And he kind of just bust through the wall to try and save you as best he could. Mm-hmm. But that was Hogwin. He guarded the... I forgot the exact family name for those that were in charge of Evergreen. It's been a while. Stormfree. I remember now. It came back to me. The Stormfree family was in charge of Evergreen originally.
That makes sense.
Which is now, actually, surprisingly enough, it is Herschel's family that is now in charge of Evergreen. So it is now... That's why he's also a councilman. Because he is, like, the guy that's been handling all the Evergreen shit. But that's later discussion. You had another question you had for Campaign 1, I believe?
One last question for Campaign 1. What if I didn't get caught in the city? Because I do believe I failed a stealth acrobatics type check and got caught by someone.
Had you not been caught in the city,
It was,
most likely you... What happened? What was it would say?
I think it was in Brimstone, wasn't it?
I don't believe you went to Brimstone in Campaign...
It was a dwarven city.
Holdo, yes.
It was definitely Holdo.
Fucking dead.
Yeah, I got caught in Holdo.
Had you not been caught in Holdo, nothing awful would have happened. You just wouldn't have had as much insight into what was going on in the place, because Holdo was the last bastion of like knowledge and safety in Evergreen at the time. So there's been a lot less knowledge you had about when you were going in future exploration and like objectives in the one-off kind of sessions. And it definitely would have made you ever amassing a counteroffensive at any time difficult, considering you wouldn't have had any, personal connection with people that actually knew you, other than a handful of guys that you kind of just wandered across in your journeys. But nothing would have been out of the ordinary. It would probably just been a lot more solo, or I guess duo work for you and your tabaxi.
I thought me getting caught led to me being trans to my eldest later.
I have to check my notes, but I don't believe
Is that not how that happened?
I don't believe so. It might, unless you were caught by lizard folk, then that would make sense.
I do believe there were lizard folk trying to attack the city at the time.
Ah, you were caught outside. Okay. In that case,
outside.
had you not been caught, Aldous would not have had. But of course, you would have known you were there in the first place because you had done pretty good at hiding out for the most part. Honestly, it definitely put his guard up for like future endeavors of like people arriving in Evergreen, because he was like, people are catching on to our plan. I kind of got to accelerate it now, which is why a lot more like pacing was picked up. Like, hey, either pick this city or that city, or we're killing them both. We don't got time for this anymore. You're wasting time. They're starting to catch on to us. So it kind of been more like you'd have had less time to plan anything, and also the party would have had less time to plan anything in the interim.
You did this, Taz.
But had you not been caught, there'd been a lot less like rushing of Aldous' plans and getting his father unsealed before the military figures out what he's doing here.
The triplets would have been alive.
For a bit longer.
Just kidding, guys. That was a fake question. I staged it.
He staged it.
All we got for campaign 1. I'm gonna take a swig of water. Alright, on to the bulk where most of you guys actually joined. But Char's not here right now.
A barrel of oats.
Hmm?
Huh?
What did you say?
Come on.
Oh, also, I planned on just nuking Eric from the beginning of the campaign, just always. Just so in the back of my mind, just kill Eric.
Yeah, good luck.
You made him. You did that.
You did this, honestly.
I can still kill Eric. I've played with him kill Eric, actually.
You should have stopped him early on when he was like, can I take the tough feat? And you're like, yeah, sure, dude. That's where you fucked up.
No, it's fine.
Tough feet isn't even that much.
I have plenty of...
I took it early.
I have plenty of people.
No, I only took it once. You can only take it once.
But it just gives you... It's a permanent health buff every time, though.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what
but
it is.
reality,
you
if
get
didn't
a
have
lot
tough-
more health if you take it later on.
No, if he didn't grab tough, he would just be transforming more often. Do you want that?
I already transform a lot, and I didn't have it before. When I took tough in the first campaign. That was like one of the first. That's why I was so beefy, because I took it super early on.
Short dude, super wide, all muscle.
Yeah.
Exactly. I chose rectangle.
Stretched out.
But also, just so you guys are aware, you can ask questions that you had for one another as well, which I forgot to mention earlier on. Not all of them have to be directed at me.
Oh yeah.
There are a lot of things that people chose to do in the game that was like, hey, why'd you
Why
do
you
that?
always running, Zavari?
Listen, it was literally my flaw.
Not good enough.
It's what your
It is good enough. Obviously, it was in character. It's what my character would have done.
Huh?
I'm on the campaign.
Don't you ever use that excuse again, alright?
We're gonna move on to campaign 2. We're gonna kick it off with I guess everything from the exact end of the Aldous fight is what we're gonna count as campaign 2. So the moment that was unsealed, or the moment that Aldous had 0 hit points and the fight was over, until you guys were in the far realm, was gonna be campaign 2. So any questions from that frame that we've got. Hopefully, like, from, if you have like a timestamp for your questions as well, so we don't just get jump from like end of campaign to beginning of campaign stuff. And you got any like direct beginning of the campaign question that like involve anything?
I have an absolutely microscopic question.
Microscopic.
Does this count the Venlin one shot in a norm? Since it was technically immediately after Aldous' death.
Yes.
Alright.
I would allow that to count. Yeah, that would count, yes. So I guess we'll start, we'll go through Christian, because you actually did have technically the first, chronologically you had the first session in campaign 2, chronologically.
I always had the first session.
Nice.
In canon, the first session was in actual reality, the first session was like a couple months prior to campaign 3 starting, but canonically speaking, it was just after Aldous had died was when campaign 2.
It's amazing.
You any questions, Christian, about what happened with Venlin and stuff?
Wow.
Getting
if I
two
would've
doorways.
lost if I had lost to the Coven guy, would you have killed me?
No.
Would they have captured me?
Yes. Instantly,
Oh,
without a
God.
shadow of doubt. You've been locked. One of those tubes where Winston was locked in. You've been locked in one of those tubes.
Oh gosh, even with the thing with Aldous, he'd be so pissed.
Yeah, it would have been. He would have broken you out. Would have been a whole thing of you escaping a prison for like the first session or so.
You guys arrive on the Isle, it's like, who's this cleric woman?
Yeah, Ben would have arrived a whole lot later in the campaign.
We
probably.
wouldn't know you're a cleric. You'd be like
Yeah.
covered in rags, like running for your life. We'd be like, who the fuck is this NPC?
Aldous would have been ignorant at that point, man.
Ben would have arrived a lot later, though, for sure, in the campaign. Not a lot later, because you guys did go to that place in like the first 20 or so sessions. But
That was only because of me.
I guess so. It is true. But had you been captured, there's no point their offensive there was because you had arrived. Actually, was why the guy was there in the first place. It was because you arrived there.
Yeah.
So they went there to kind of take over the town because you had arrived there, and they were like, might have to study this place now because this has never happened before, where someone just kind of drops in here every once in a while.
Man, I really was.
And it happened 6 more times.
I really was the moving piece for like every stupid thing.
Every little
Every
tiny
time.
thing, yeah.
I'll leave the field for a bit. Y'all have a lot more questions about the more important reality.
Yo, campaign 2 stuff.
Everything is all your fault.
Come on.
So on to the rest of the party for campaign 2. I guess we'll go with, because the only people that are here that were in the beginning were Naomi and Tark. Do you have any questions from before the guests arrived? Anything?
The
through
guests.
Because
Yeah, the guests.
Anything? It's like from this
Yeah.
is like from the moment that Xylon arrived until Frog Irmo's first arrival. So from Xylon arriving in Xylon arriving in Evergreen, you guys going back to Brimstone, hearing the whole debrief about who Zen is, onto the training arc, going to the black market from the north underneath the tunnels and all that shit.
I'm still so upset that she killed Xylon.
And then from the tunnels over to Merchant's Isle, because Frog Irmo arrived on your return from Merchant's Isle, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly. It was you guys going...
No, wasn't he in the Holy Grail? We met him in there, didn't
No,
we?
you did not. You met him. If I'm correct, you met him just before on the mission to rescue Herschel when you met him actually. Because his first arrival was him like beheading something instantly. No, you met
it
him.
was in the middle of fighting.
See, now I'm lost. 'Cause I could have sworn you met him in.
Oh,
Was it Merchant's Isle where he beheaded one of the big like cleaver guys with the pointed nose helmets? Can't remember
Yes,
exactly.
it was. It
Okay,
was.
yeah, so
It was.
you met him just before. If that's the case, you met him just before Merchant's Isle. I'm pretty sure around that time. You met.
All I remember is that we met him in the middle of a fight.
Yes. Either way, any questions from before Frog Irmo arrived? We'll just stamp him arriving at the Herschel rescue in Pergus. We'll state his arrival being when Winston went off to bait away a Balor demon. So from Xylon arriving to Winston fighting a Balor demon, anything in between that phrase from like Black Market, training arc, debrief of who Zen is, anything from there at all. All right. Anything else though? Because after Shinra, after Divine arrived, it's all just guests and permanent player joining, anyways. So any other questions from campaign 2?
Could I get a completely random question that I don't know where it fits on
Sure.
the timeline? Where is like all this like raises a child in the timeline?
Aldous does not raise a child.
No, raised as a child.
Like like in the general world timeline.
Yeah.
I can actually tell you where that is with good clarity because I have. I was working on. I think Tark saw. I was starting to work on the actual full canonical timeline for things, and I think I linked it to Tark a while back, so I can actually tell you the literal exact timestamp of when he did this. So timelines. There it is. Let me view it. Okay, so Aldous' childhood was, for common knowledge, the current year is 3636. As of like, I haven't fully figured that. The times aren't official, Elijah, because I haven't finished timeline. But from whatever World Anvil gave me, it's been at least 3,600 years since the first anything happened. Aldous being a child was a while back. Hang on, I gotta scroll. I gotta scroll. Aldous being a child was the year 2300, so at least 1,300 years ago. Oh, sorry, 1,300 years ago. At least 1,000 plus years ago, Aldous was born. Almost 1,500 years ago is him literally being born, and then his childhood quote unquote ranged from 2301 until 2313. So he was 13 when his mom was killed. Yeah. It's like him being a normal child was 13 years. And then his mom died, and then the war began 3 years after his mom was killed. So he was 16 when he first invaded the plains.
Hey, yo. He was on a field trip, really.
But yeah, any other questions for campaign 2 people had?
Or for the beginning of campaign 2.
Yeah, well, and I won't just do any time in campaign 2 now, honestly. I don't mind jumping around. I just wanted to get the early stuff out of the way first, because that was the more, like, that was that's further away in everyone's memory, I feel like, is the very beginning stuff, so I wanted to just ask those just in case. But yeah, any questions in regards to campaign 2 that anyone had?
So I can ask anything now, right?
Yeah.
Before I can go
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Anything
Okay,
for
so
campaign 2.
curious. So I already know that Froggy Romo, you read like he portrayed him due to family. So was his family like his entire planet literally raised back?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. Was there any like what do they call it? Twist in his word, or did
Nope.
Zen
When-
really did it?
When Zen said, "If you help me with this, I'll help you get your tribe back," he meant it very literally, and he brought them all back with relative ease. It seemed as soon as you had done what you had promised you would do, he went to where you decided to go, brought them back, and that was the end of it. Your deal was done, and you were released from the deal you made.
A player question for fucking Divine. I swear to God, Froggy Rowe, I hope he didn't live the rest of his life guilt-free, just like happy with his family, because they definitely thought we were dead.
He would definitely feel guilt about, betraying the party, but at the same time, though, he did it for his family, so.
Mm.
So he'll probably have that thing that he probably dishonored y'all, like portraying y'all wise, but at the same time, him bringing about his family, he probably put the sword down and probably just focus
Like
the rest of his
live
life. Stick
Nice.
with the rest of his life. And most likely, I would probably say too, if knowing that, the heroes defeated Zen, he probably, due to his old age, he probably didn't want to go himself because he felt like he doesn't deserve to see y'all, but he'd probably tell his friends and family about y'all and probably ask for forgiveness through them instead of himself.
Pretty sure.
So, yeah. Interesting. I didn't expect to get a question. I thought it was all going to be directed at Gabe himself. Okay. I'm trying to think. What other questions do I have?
I have a question about the Holy Grail trials also.
Yeah.
How did you choose who got what trial?
Literally just based off of backstories and how you were playing your character from campaigns 1 and 2. I was like, who was... Because I made the trials ahead of time, like, which one would be which, and I'm like, who would fit each of these the best? Reflecting on yourself, definitely Zashada, because, she hides the whole Yuan-Ti thing. Dealing with the guilt of people, thinking they failed people, definitely Zavari. Dealing with multiple different sins of what could possibly happen. what could be desired from someone that seems to has no desires? Definitely Eric. The more like soft-spoken, kind of indecisive member was given the one of I forget the exact one it was, but just being shown the future and given the choice of like, if you know this outcome is, guaranteed, and whether you win or lose, good things will happen. Are you still gonna fight?
Wasn't that you telling Grimm that like, oh, in the future, like if he wins, everything's gonna be peaceful, but like a couple races are just completely fucking extinct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ridiculous. All right.
And then of course, Winston, who likes to talk, was given one of time where he just kept talking. And he's like, I'm getting older as I talk longer. This is kind of weird. And then he finally stopped talking.
His job was just to get him to shut the fuck up.
It was making him more mindful of time and place for things. It's kind of what it was more for him.
His avatar was just like Tola.
Is she just there? That's actually what it was. The Guardian of Time was just Tola in a robe and no one knew it. Deciding who actually got the Grail. I believe, I forget, but I think I had to make rolls in the actual trial themselves.
Yeah.
And I believe I based it on who got the highest roll in regards to their personal trial. And Eric had gotten the highest roll on his personal trial, and therefore he had earned the right of getting. I believe he also finished his trials the fastest as well.
Yeah.
And it's also a sign of focus and commitment to a path, which was a huge draw.
Bro, I was the fastest. What are you talking about?
Oh yes, Froggermo was there. What garden did they give Froggermo?
What was your trial?
You asked. It was pretty
it was life. You were offered immortality.
Yeah, he was like, would you want immortality to fight against evil and get your revenge? And I was like, I'd rather have revenge through my own power. And he was like, whoa. Spoken.
But yes, if I remember, we had the Guardian of Life, which was like immortality at a cost. All of them had downfalls, of course.
Would he actually? Yeah. So would he actually have more immortality?
Yes, but you've been locked in a pocket dimension for eternity. Actually.
Whoa.
Yep. There was a catch. There was a catch. You would be immortal, but you would be frozen in time pretty much forever.
Interesting.
Worth it.
Oh, like he's not actually immortal, he's just frozen in time.
Yeah, with Eric, any sin he had chosen to fall to would be the permanent sin of his life forever. If he chose wrath, he would always be enraged. If he had chose sloth, I'd have some penalty involving slower reaction times or movement or exhaustion, perhaps.
Double defense, but at half speed.
Of course, for Winston, failing his trial would mean he would literally turn to dust and die. Grimm would just be a loss of willpower. The Shades, there wasn't really a downfall for the Shade of Zavar, they're more like self-introspection kind of ones. Had you not actually gone through or past past the trials with the majority, you probably would have been turned to a Grail Thrall, most likely. Anybody that survived the actual trials, but then passed them, would have been turned into Thrall, most likely. The one that don't get Frogger, of course, got a severe penalty of being locked in stasis forever, but the rest of you would be immortal, but as Thrall, as your penalties, minus Eric.
Yeah.
He'll be forced to forget everything about the entire trial and release just as this vengeful, or whatever sin he has, or possibly also turn to a Thrall, depending on what I chose at the time. But either they all have their own downfalls in a way. Had you died down there, you would have just died down there.
I bet you would have just ended the campaign.
No, I would have ended the campaign. There would have been wait. There would of course a loophole of it because I had plans for you all not surviving the Grail, but
you did.
I did. They were very iffy, but I did have ways that I would have BS'd it. You do recall that Boris was still down there.
Yeah, what happened to Boris?
Boris. So
he got out
after a while. So.
Oh wait, no. I guess this isn't a second campaign question, is it?
Well, no, it is. I mean, what happened to Boris in the Grail dungeon thing, or just in general?
Oh, I meant in general.
That's campaign 3. That's campaign 3.
All right, yeah.
Boris was still down there. He wouldn't have come rushing you at all, but he definitely reported you all not returning from this place to someone. And it'd have been years on the line, most likely, but someone would have definitely came and found you guys if you weren't turned to thrall by then. Either that, or you would have been wish-spelled back by Samuel or someone of equal power.
Nice.
But there, of course, been a penalty or cost to being wished out of Ao's Holy Grail dungeon, which I hadn't decided at the time. But that was one of the ways was you being brought back from someone powerful, but with a huge time loss in the war happening, which again could have led into the whole rebellion type fighting thing of the campaign if you were gone for that long. Yeah. Moving on from the Holy Grail, any other questions for campaign 2?
I'm trying to think of what else.
Campaign 2, there a lot happened in campaign 2. Campaign 2 was huge, honestly. It was the world planar spanning, honestly.
So about that genocide.
Which one?
Which genocide?
Technically, there were 3 in this campaign.
You mother.
I have a question. I have a question, and it's more from a DM perspective of like needing help with planning, but I will ask that later. And the reason why I ask it, that's overall, like the overall question.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, but which genocide are you referencing exactly?
That's a crazy sentence, by the way.
There were 3 major genocides in this campaign.
It's what is it? The lizard folk,
the dwarves. Sorry, the surface-dwelling dwarves and the gods.
Yeah, all of Holdo was fucking.
And the gods. The gods as well do count as a genocide because they were massacred. But like I believe, I have the note sheet here. All of them save for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 gods left.
What are they?
Including.
Well,
I guess if we
gods or like gods existing.
Original gods, there are.
Just Ymir, right?
There's 1. The gods I haven't made myself. There's 1.
Which one?
It is the mother of spiders, the one that Drow worship.
Oh, okay.
Because she doesn't really give a fuck about the other gods, so she wouldn't have fought Zed at all.
Mm.
But if we include, because the 9 hells do count as a plane, so if we include Zavari and Winston, well, we have to count Winston. If we include Zavari, there's 9 total powerful entities left alive. But without Zavari, there are 8 total deities left alive. And the rest were all massacred, including the upper deities too. There are no currently living greater deities at all that are alive. They're all lesser or intermediate.
Technically, there's 10.
Who is the 10th? Am I missing someone?
Genra.
No.
Shut up. I thought he was just Eric. I was like, well, technically.
No, Eric counts as a lesser deity. He'd be a bit below a lesser deity because there's a whole ranking thing of like.
I would be a god if I got that wish.
Well,
you'll be a god anyways.
If you were a god, then would have also killed you. If you were a full deity in the fight, he would have killed you first and drained your power. Also, fun fact: had Eric ever died in combat, Zen would have taken his deity powers and gotten stronger from it. Actually.
Oh, it would have been so sad.
Also, you as well, Zavari, is a thing you can do. Had he taken out you or Eric or Zashane for that matter, actually, he could have taken the powers you had been bestowed.
Oh, is that what he was doing to the Demogorgon when we were all in the Shadowfell?
No, he just pimp slapped him.
All right, damn.
I mean, he drained his powers. No, he couldn't because after the Demogorgon died, the powers went directly to you instantly.
Get back on the
same thing with Winston and Vantra. As soon as the God of Death died, it instantly went to Winston, so you couldn't take the powers from them. I mean, Winston, of course, at one point, eventually Winston will become a greater deity, but currently he's intermediate. And in the future of the game, he will be intermediate until like a couple 100 years later.
What about Eric?
He will not increase.
Bro, I
any further
basically
than he
still
is.
got this.
He's like Hercules, kind of, more than anything.
I got a sippy cup.
He's a demigod.
Yeah, basically, he's more like demigod level of deity stuff.
Can he like go through some trials or some shit like Hercules did?
No, they're
the
gods are very. If I don't know if canonically Sherry would have told you. Canonically Sherry would have told you that
I could have convinced you.
No.
I think yes.
No. Canonically,
If
Shooter
we're-
would
if
know that
we
the
had
days are
20
making a
years
the days are making a
discussion-
high table where they all convene to decide things, and a majority of them would probably say no to a new deity, considering gods were the major problem of the, the past two things.
Not just
You
Zeta,
think I'm
me,
not
because
reaching
remember
out?
they told
You think
me,
I'm not
they
making
told me
calls?
this.
Oh, sorry,
I'm
that's not they told you. The gods
Eric,
told Shinder about the high
they
table.
Seeing-
And
Yeah,
they
I'm
would,
like a messenger. I'm like a messenger of the gods right now.
they would have not agreed to a new deity being risen to power at all.
Yeah, but I could have convinced him. Eric could have convinced him.
You would
20
not convince Ymir to let you become a deity.
Well,
You would not.
20 years worth of sessions? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They would not.
Yeah.
They would not just.
Yes.
Their willpower is a bit more than just you. Than you pestering them every once in a while. Like, hey, can I be a god now?
Can I roll 365 times 20 D100 and average them?
What will that do for you? There's- also,
Every
you
day I
have
ask. Every day I ask.
your form cannot possess deity-like powers.
Who's saying I'm keeping the form?
You could wish spell a new form, but even then, it's a risky thing to happen.
You can't grow a new form?
You cannot
It's
just
like,
you cannot just grow a cosmic
it's like your
form.
nails.
The
It's
gods,
like your nails.
all of the gods were either inherited their powers or were created by thousands of years ago. All of them.
Didn't the Raven Queen
Created
snatch
me.
her shit?
The Raven Queen did snatch someone's shit. But
Yo,
that's
we got
in
the
normal
crystal
D&D
right
lore. That's
there.
not normal like
Yeah.
that's Faerun lore. In this she was
Alright, you're like, that's not mine.
in this world she was just the goddess of death
Oh, okay.
because she's cool as
Let
shit.
me
She's a-
roll
Anyways, any other questions from campaign 2?
D100.
Any questions
Why
from campaign?
can't Eric be a
If I
god?
get above
That is not a
90,
campaign 2 question because he did not get god powers until halfway through campaign
If I
2.
get an average above a 90 right now,
You were asking about genocide, I'm pretty sure, weren't you?
average about a 90 right now.
So you're asking about genocide, right? Continue with the genocide question you have for me.
Oh god. Something about the lizard folk.
What about
There was one left, right?
yes? Well, one that you knew of, yes.
Okay, yeah, one that we know of left. What happened to him?
He is in charge of Darut currently.
Nice.
Yes.
What happened to Captain Ethan?
That's a campaign 3 question.
Damn it! Okay.
But yes, originally, had he not been alive, that lizard folk, there'd been a huge power gap in Darut after you killed their emperor guy. And it probably would have been filled by the other two nations kind of collectively running it.
Is it?
But since you kept him alive and helped him not die, and he, saw the error of everything that happened, he worked towards making Darut a better place overall.
What is that average?
Which is why Darut is what it is now. It's because of that lizard folk guy you say that it is what it is. It is what it is now. Also, he was not the last lizard folk either. They're very minute now, but there are maybe a couple hundred at this point, and that's about it.
Alright.
The rest of them were, of course, not in the continent. They're more tribal, rural lizard folk that are out there. But the main, I guess the ones that were more based in public areas or cities and stuff, they're pretty much all but gone. The major populations of them. Of course, there are some lingering over in Brimstone, a few in Lucia, but the ones that were in Darut are all but gone. That specific race of lizard folk in Darut are all but gone, pretty much.
Alright.
Except for one from Darut. And then, of course, there was Holda, which was canonically the first and only surface-dwelling dwarven city.
And
Oh,
what? No longer.
That's who knows. I mean, they haven't built a new one, but Holda was the first dwarven city that was above ground. And those were the 3 genocides. Gods, lizard folk, dwarves. Any other questions from campaign 2 beyond genocide?
So I can't ask another genocide question.
Sure, if you want. If you have another genocide question.
If you
Yeah.
want.
Any other
Black.
campaign 2 questions y'all got? In regards to any of the possible outcomes of fights, questioning scenarios, missions that were done, checks.
Are any giants left?
The Titans? Yes. The
Yeah.
Storm Titans are the ones that saved Elvenspire, actually.
Oh shit!
The Storm Giants and Titans, so they were amassed by, of course, they were rallied at first by them being threatened from that Dragon Rider. And then after they saw that, everything was falling, they had to make a move. So they swept through Elvenspire because they were still fighting at Elvenspire. And they came to Elvenspire first to help save them. Yeah, there are still a few hundred of them alive. Back in the mountains, of
The ones
course.
who fought with us, are they still alive? Did they get revived?
Yeah, they're alive. They didn't die by the end of the fight. They were alive.
Okay, cool.
They are, of course, also back in their home in the mountains somewhere. I believe I've told you the outcome of the Zen fight being lost. I'm pretty sure.
What was it?
Oh, had you all lost the Zen fight, Campaign 3 would have not taken place in the Far Realm. It would have taken place in the Material Plane. Couple dozen years later, because Winston would have brought you guys back to life and hit you in the Shadowfell for a bit.
Wow.
Only for a bit, though, because of course they would eventually find Winston because there's a God of Death around still. And he wondered why your bodies weren't there anymore. There's also a possibility, which would be a future where all of your strong allies would be dead, except for you and Winston. So that means, Herschel would be dead, Samuel, all the Inquisitors, Ilnoth, Leon would probably be actually, literally destroyed spiritually as well, so he couldn't bite anymore.
Damn. So we saved everyone. That's crazy.
That would have been so depressing.
It would
That
have
would've
been
been
a
very
very
depressing.
sad campaign. Yes, it would have been the entire world run by Zen, in the middle
All our
of in the middle of revolutions and stuff happening, while everyone is dead but you and Winston, and a few elves, of course,
crazy.
because they were in the Feywild hiding out.
That's actually crazy. You actually would have created Obito. I would have been Obito. That's crazy.
Yeah, but Obito kind of won sometimes. With all of your friends dead, fighting Zen would have been nigh impossible at that point.
I would have been the next Madara. You.
I don't even know who you are. But yes, that was a possibility of something happening. It would be everyone dead but you, Winston, and a few survivors across the continents.
Yeah, we would have had to create a resistance then as well. It's crazy.
There'd be no one left to create a resistance.
There would be no
with-
one left because Brimstone had already. By the time you guys went to fight Zen, Brimstone had already fallen at that point. Elvenspire was being attacked from just their capital city and was defending just that line. The refugees in Lucy were getting surrounded. It would have just been you guys. And maybe a few elves. But in the Feywild, where they can hide longer. Because I'm pretty sure also by the time you guys would have been back in fighting shape, Denal would be dead as well because they would have lost Elvenspire.
Oh boy.
When I say it would have been a clean sweep of NPCs would have just been gone from that fight. Also Ymir, because he was there fighting as well. Yeah, any other Campaign 2 questions y'all got?
I think that's all for me.
Shar said she'd be here around 8-ish, but she's not here. I'm gonna
I was
let
gonna
her-
ask something about the lich, but I forgot.
In what regard?
I don't remember.
Is it her character as a person? If she alive, who was she in the past? Anything like that?
Probably. I don't know.
One second here.
Probably something about what she's doing over there. If we didn't. Not that we did kill her, but Samuel did after we failed. We were just on a rescue mission for Herschel, right?
Yes. Oh, she was just guarding that port. Because you guys had invaded from there before.
So she was just sitting there?
Yeah, she really just made a lair in that port.
Nice. Does she have backstory stuff?
Yeah, she did. I gotta.
Can we hear it?
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull it up. It's been a while. Log into Roll20 in a different tab, just so I can pull it up without closing the world map. 1 second here. I can tell you first of all, though, that she was a member of the Mage Council Academy in the past, which I recall that much at least. However, archived COR Lich. There she is. Here it is. To be exact, she was a member of. Oh, she was probably more. She was more than a student. She was a member of the Mage Council Apprentice, like you were, Zvar. She's a member of the Apprentice program, like you were.
Oh no!
But like 700 years prior, she was.
Samuel was still right?
Yeah, he was alive still. This is after the first war against Zen.
Yeah. Okay.
Start. But she went on an expedition for her final trial of joining the Mage Council. She got lost at sea for a long time. All of her friends but herself died, and to keep herself company, she brought all of them back from the dead. So she's also a necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
And in her urge to not die, she became a lich.
Cool.
Because she of course in her mind she wanted to become a member of the Mage Council for a different reason that I will not disclose because it doesn't really matter at this point. But that drive went from becoming a member of the Mage Council to getting power and staying alive was all she could really think of, which is what drove her to becoming insane and becoming a lich. And her name was Elantra Vispa, to be exact. She was Elven.
Cool. How did that fight with Samuel go?
It was a stomp.
I guess recognize her.
It was a massacre.
No, I meant like emotionally.
Emotionally, he probably recognized who she was from vocal patterns and also facial recognition because he's beyond ancient. Been a lot of sorrow because assuming she died as well. You remember he at least assumed she died almost 1,000 years ago and had already properly mourned for her most likely. And seeing her alive in this state would have been like like a gut punch. But also his current student was injured from the fall of his past student. So it's more like
injured, killed.
It's more like a fall from grace, kind of upset than anything. Like, I'm sorry for what you became, but your time was then and this is now. And then he just finished her off.
Nice.
And also it was definitely a stomp because liches only have like 130 hit points. She had like 20 more than that, and his breath attack does like 70 alone.
Alright, but hear me out. Why was your only note power would kill Zavari?
Funny.
That's so targeted.
I believe at that point, you're the last person at 100 hit points. I'm pretty sure either you or Zashada at a certain point, but that current
I remember
moment,
at that point Zashada had hit like 101 or something, and I was
so originally it was you or Zashada, but I think I just erased the Zashada part because you're the only one that had less than 100 hit points. I'm like, damn it, just Zavari, I guess. Someone's going out in this fight instantly, and it's gonna be one of those two casters. Oh, only one caster can die instantly. I know which caster I'm going for.
Fuck.
Yeah, of course, there was more than just a note. The Circle of Rebirth knew you guys had powerful casters, and they wanted them dead early on. Hence the targeting.
I wasn't killed early on, though. I distinctly remember I had to suffer through the embarrassment of getting my ass whooped, and then she power word killed me when a cantrip would have done it. I distinctly remember that. That
is true. That is also true. But they also they wanted you out of the fight for good, where you couldn't be healed. So as soon as you were like down and in good range to be killed, you were taken out. And they were just going to finish your party up. To that point, I believe Shinra was already retreating at that point. Shinra was unconscious.
Yeah, Shinra was dead.
And
Shinra died.
Oh yeah, Shinra was dead. This is actually just before Leon arrived. Was when you were powered killed, and you were all in the retreat phase of the kind of recovery.
Leon got there when we were all on the boat already.
No, he got there when you were rowing to the boat, about to be blasted out of existence.
Yeah.
Because the mountain stood up.
Yeah.
What a line! What a line! I'm thinking about that just now. The mountain stood up. Which is also on the world map. The mountain's gone as well. On the world map.
Yeah, because he got up and walked away.
No, because the volcano that was there was destroyed by the creature burrowing into it. And then it.
Oh boy.
What I think is kind of funny because creatures were mining. You saw people mining the back of the large creature as well because they assumed it was still a mountain there. But yeah, anything else from campaign 2?
Why do you make me destroy my village?
You wrote that. That wasn't me. You did that.
Why would you do that to me? To Eric.
You did that. I didn't do it. Eric did it.
You did that. You put me there.
Gotta reply to Shar.
His age
I've
doesn't.
never-
With your backstory, in regards to Eric's backstory, yeah, the original concept was the same though. That you were going to be used as a vessel to try and bring back Zen into a mortal body without breaking the whole seal thing.
Oh, right.
That was your original. That was why the ritual was happening originally. Was they were going to use this child on this isle as a potential source for their.
My father was Charles Manson.
Well, your father's dead now.
Did I kill my father?
And killed most of your people, actually.
Damn, I'm like...
Also, I liked... When I wrote that, of course, when it was like written, of course, I didn't think too much of, like, flatten them out. Like, oh, you flattened them out in the village. And I was like, aha, funny joke. 'Cause I was still an early DM back then. But looking back on the continuity of this, and how I cannot fully retcon it until I, like, work on it later.
Hey, yo, imagine...
I just imagine that you embodied, like... You embodied like some cosmic power at the moment from like the ritual that was not the right one, and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" and just flattened everything and kept it moving.
Hey yo, that's what's
He was
up.
literally raised by wolves.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume raised was like flattened was like you raised the village, and the mountain being flattened was I don't know.
Here, by the way, y'all. I'm probably gonna have to
Byproduct.
get back at 8:45, but I'm
Oh, sick! Hey, Shar. Do you have any questions for campaign 2, Shar? We're about to finish up actually with campaign 2.
I don't think so. I think a lot of my questions are tied to campaign 3. Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, the party is whooshed through this rift in space and time and shot out into the far realm. And from you guys being pulled that space-time rift until the very end of the epilogue is campaign 3. So any questions from the very end of the Zen fight until the end of the epilogue? We're going to jump right into campaign 3 with anything from that point until that point.
You have the thing that you, like your little monologue at the end of the campaign.
Which the campaign 2 monologue
No.
or campaign?
Yes. Like end of campaign 2, beginning of campaign 3. I think you repeated it at the
I
beginning
did.
of campaign 3, but it was different.
Oh, there was more added onto it. I'll actually pull up both of them real quick. And away home. Yeah, let's scroll down to the introduction section of this. Important places. There is introduction, and then campaign 2 epilogue. These are some long campaigns. 61 pages for campaign 2 and 98 for campaign 3.
Damn.
Here it is. So you want the ending of you guys beating Zen, or just the part where you get pulled into space time? The full narration of it.
I was asking about the us getting pulled through.
Okay, so here it is.
You know, if you want to be like,
I found it. In an instant, the ground starts to rumble, and a bright violet light begins to emit from Zen's body, almost like the death of Aldous. But you can tell to a much greater degree. The surging dark cosmic energies that were once being contained in this form begin to cover his body entirely. With a strike of deep crimson lightning from the clearing storm clouds above, the shadow energy bursts out from every gap in his armor. It is a massive explosion of immense power, almost like an initial summoning. Where was it? I lost it. As you glance over, it does not matter. A void tears open in the space where Zen's body once was and sucks your party into it. You spiral through this empty space at incomprehensible speed, surrounded by blurs of colorful stars, or colorful light, flashes of other worlds, places, people, and creatures you've never seen. There appears to be what looks like stars in the distance, planets, suns, moons, and monolithic creatures frozen in ice that seem to float in the endless vacuum of dark speckled cavities surrounding you. You try to speak, call out, try using messaging spells and your innate abilities, nothing, but there's utter silence and nothing can take effect. Suddenly, the flow of space jolts to a stop, and adversity and greater speeds, distorting the color around you, shifting between the different hues, different spectrums of light. Your bodies appear to twist, elongate, and morph before going back to normal, repeating, your minds bending and tearing as your senses are overloaded, and your souls seem to be getting to split from the sheer force of the event. You look at the direction to see a dark rift. You fly into it, and everything goes black. And with a bright patch of dark below you, you're blinded and you finally black out. Your body and spirit overwhelmed. And then we do the full epilogue of, like, you know, this is how the world moves on, reconstruction, and then it's you awaken in a dark forest.
Oh yeah, oh that line.
The way it ended, it was the best cliffhanger was you awaken in a dark forest. Like, what the fuck?
You were like, what?
And then the intro was, of course, we move past the 3-year-long struggle, and it goes into the old one being there, which was, where was it? The event that followed saw our heroes torn physically, mentally, and spiritually as they spiraled through the tear in reality before being sucked into a dark void and blacking out. As they drift, a voice surrounds them, and in the blackness of their minds, a large, glowing, white, amphibious, what should have been cephalopod eye opens. Its size about as big, if not bigger, than the behemoth you faced in Brimstone. And it's the old one, of course, what has been brought to us. As its power of an overdeity, what armor is this? I believe it belongs to the Forgotten One. What of his fate? It seems he is no more. What of his power? It lingers amongst these ones. What protects their planes? There is no one. What gift should they bring me? I see armor and a deity of shadow. What need have I for them? They will provide me a vessel. Has my time finally come? Yes, I believe it has. And the eye vanishes, and then you awaken in a dark forest. Was the intro to that?
Without Winston.
Yes, that was Winston. The deity of shadow was Winston. Which is how he also summoned shadow creatures to fight for him. Bring back the dead and shit. Was stolen from Winston. But yeah, that was the intro. Was the outro was, of course, how the world progressed, just broad knowledge, and then you waking up in a dark forest. The intro of Campaign 3 was recapping the end of Campaign 2, the old one's introduction, and then awakening in the forest.
Violent.
But yeah, we're on to Campaign 3. You all landed in the forest, Persian blue wood, reflective dark silver star-shaped leaves that seem fluid, beige grass that moves around your feet so you don't step on it, faint amber specks in the air at all times, at least in the evening in the forest. So, Campaign 3 questions. We're here. What's up? What questions have you for Campaign 3?
How thick was the princess?
Oh God! Am I doing the role? Am I doing a role for this?
Enough with this.
Yo, that is just.
Am I required? Am I required? I have not rolled for this. Am I required to roll for this?
Roll it,
all the rolls. How thick was Eric?
That shit out there, perfect 20.
No, I did not roll. You rolled for Eric, I'm pretty sure.
Not for my thickness.
Yeah. Am I rolling for the princess or not? Am I rolling? We are on a stream.
Sorry.
Thickness is different. We don't talk about dicks on stream.
We don't talk about what else do.
My male reproductive organ. I rolled for that.
Nice.
Already. I don't know why I care. It was talked about. It was talked about on stream in Campaign 2. So why do I care?
Yo,
what number did Eric roll?
What number did Eric? Do you want to know what number Eric rolled? I don't think Eric did roll. I don't think Eric. Oh yeah, Eric.
The trunk.
Eric rolled a 16 to be exact.
No, I'm saying what's Eric's trunk looking like?
You did not roll. You did not roll for that. You did not roll for that. Why was this the first question for Campaign 3? Was how thick is the princess? Why was this the first question?
Yo, that's because Aaron got me.
I think it was on
the real question, bro. That was in my mind, bro. But I didn't want to ask. But you know, Aaron, the God himself came in, bro. I'm very thankful for him. See, because if I asked, y'all would have just called me all horny, bro. But Aaron doing it, that makes it better, bro. Roll that shit, bro.
It doesn't.
He's
it doesn't
a paladin. He's always the light of the religion.
Bro, let me see that trunk size, bro. What is that D20?
Oh,
Princess trunk. What's the princess?
Let me see that D20, bro.
right, there. Those are the two rolls I got right there.
It's plus charisma. right?
I think.
It's plus charisma.
I think the princess surpassed Venlin with the 21.
Oh my
Well,
lord!
no, was it?
If it's not plus charisma, it's just a straight 17. If it's not plus charisma, it's a straight 17.
All right.
You didn't plus
Yo.
charisma for me.
You don't have.
That's what I'm talking
Well,
about,
Bailey,
bro.
you don't have charisma to add. You're plus 0 to charisma. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I also rolled a nat.
But
That
a
is
nat
true.
20
That
was
is
a very
true.
special kind of roll.
That is true.
The saving throw.
But yes, on a D10 for look, she got a 10 plus her charisma modifier, which is a 4.
Nice.
It's like blindingly. It's like we're looking at a one of those statues.
No wonder Shindo was so fucking smitten, bro.
Bro, I was hella sick, bro.
Anyways, can we move on to an actual question for campaign 3, please?
Hey, come on.
Hey yo, Shitter's butt ugly, dog.
Oh hell
A natural 1 plus 2
That
and
is
3.
The only reason.
no! Hey, this man looking like the thing.
Hey yo.
You know what? Maybe I should have rolled.
Oh nah, bro.
Hey,
Okay, questions for campaign 3, please. Questions.
Well, one of the principals was declared my advance.
Can I roll for Zetzi?
Yeah, that's crazy. Bro, what's
Hey, yo,
that thing? A
what about
fucking
Tola?
shit,
How's
bro.
We're done. We're done with the
How
thickness.
is
We're
Tola
done.
looking?
We are done.
All right, what about a look roll? Looks, just for looks.
For Tola?
Look,
For
hold
Tola?
on.
No, for Zetzi.
Oh, Zetzi, he got an
Hold
8.
on. Both.
Hell.
Out of 10?
Out of 10, yes.
Nice.
That actually makes me sad, bro. Come on, bro. Why you
No wonder she chose him.
Bro, this some bullshit, bro.
Alright. For Tola, so we said one look for. Oh, God!
I knew it. She's the wife of the.
Wait. Are you telling me that Tola is a mommy?
Tola got a 10.
Oh,
Tola got
yes.
a 10 out of 10. Tola got a 10 out of 10.
Mommy
It's
Tola.
literally always been that. You just never.
Hey, yo.
This is stupid.
Yo,
This is
yo.
dumb.
Alright, we gotta know.
This is so
You know-
dumb. This is the
With all
stupidest
this
thing.
time pausing, how many squats has Tola been doing per day?
Infinite,
Drunk
Tippy,
We're
right?
not rolling for
Trunk
Tola.
roll for
Kaz.
Tola.
I'm not rolling.
Trunk roll.
No,
Trunk
I'm
There
not.
has to be a line somewhere.
If you didn't roll a 10, I wouldn't have asked.
Okay.
No, come on. There has to be a line somewhere.
If you roll a 10, I wouldn't have asked.
Well, look,
Well-
You know what, bro?
come on, bro.
I think Shinra has to change his choices of who he
Oh,
goes.
no, you don't. You do not.
I made a joke about Shinra X Tola and you were yelling at me. Now suddenly you see she's a 10 out of 10 and you want to change your mind?
15?
Damn.
I'm using metal dice.
Aim,
I'm using
man.
metal dice right now. It's probably bad.
Above average aim, man, bro.
Okay, guys. Actual campaign 3 questions. Hey, guys. We're back. I'm not going to cut any of that out. I'm just saying we're back because it makes me feel better. Campaign 3 questions. Actual campaign 3 questions.
Yeah, that was a
Okay,
commercial. No one
Are
was
there
listening.
any Anorum effects that increase people's estrogen and testosterone to make them?
What
Dumb.
the fuck? You know what?
What are you playing?
Let's ignore Eric just for the time being.
I'm getting a
and
headache.
And Tarek needs to be put in timeout because he started there.
He does. He really does. This is Tarek's fault, isn't it?
Nah, I have a big one.
All right, I'm all ears.
Yeah, Eric too.
What if Venlin never tipped off that there might be enemy forces in the Isles?
No island invasion. That means rescuing Winston would have been a chore for sure. Because if you recall, they were evacuating the base when you guys arrived to rescue Winston. So there have been a lot more high tier people defending the base when you guys got there. The guys that some of the guys you fought on the battlefield outside the pyramid would have been there. At least 1 or 2 zealots would have been there. The guys that can make you feel like the ones that can give you that has that aura of making you. What is that aura? I forgot. Is it weakness? No,
That's
that's
the yellow one, wasn't it?
yes.
Frightening?
I think it's one that makes you physically
No.
weak. No, it doesn't frighten you. I think it makes you physically weak.
okay, now I actually remember the question I
The
wanted to
zealot's
ask.
aura. It makes you. Oh yeah, it does. It makes you frightened.
Ooh?
All the zealots have an aura of caution. It makes you frightened of them, or I guess more like cautious. It's the frightened condition, but it makes you cautious. Is what it does.
Okay.
But there have been at least one of those guys there. At least 4 of the guys that Benlin fought in Evergreen, and probably a few more Acolytes and Chaos Warriors, and at least 2 Wayfinders, the ones that are Jyr's class. There's been a lot more guys there fighting alongside, and a lot less allies on your end in case things go bad. Other than that, in regards to the invasion, the Pyramid would have never been taken. Becoming allies with the Coven wouldn't have been on the table as soon.
What about the Anti-Magus?
The Anti-Magus in the Isles, their thing was already handled. The Anti-Magus and the Coven were at a standstill because of the other party and outsiders, actually. Yeah, they in one session, they had beaten some Anti-Magus guys in a fight, and they captured them, had them lead them to their base, with the promise of at least getting guaranteed a chance to speak to their leader. They walked into the Anti-Magus base, said, "Hey, I know you're fighting a battle and all, but to make sure less people will die out here, how about we just have a ceasefire between both sides until this whole, a Norm Kingdom invasion, or this whole Norm Kingdom civil war thing you're doing is done." And they're like, "We'll consider it." And at least on the Isle of Batep, there was a ceasefire between the Coven and the Anti-Magus. Other than that, though, the rest of the Coven bases hadn't been located than the one you found on Glaw. The rest hadn't been located yet. Oh, sorry, yeah, Call, my bad.
Can I ask my question before I have to go for...
Oh, yeah, sure.
First tournament.
Well, how many questions? Do you have one question or do you have multiple questions? You can get all of your done right now if you have multiple questions.
I have like 2.
Alright, yeah, we'll get yours done real quick then so you can head out.
Maybe 3.
Okay, let's get it. Hit me!
Sorry.
You're good.
I guess the first one would be like all the that like town that you were talking about was the old one?
Which one?
Where you were like, it's a different world.
Yes.
I guess it's a 2-parter. How many worlds do we actually like have control over like that? And then what happened to those after the event, after we like ended it?
Good question.
The vision that Ray saw with him in other worlds, that was a real world that he had already conquered, or was in the process of conquering with his new power he had. Currently, he had his hands in like, I want to say 2 or 3 worlds at most, and was only beginning to really root himself into one of them, which is the one that Ray saw. He was getting out. He was getting through there because not a lot of places that are protected by gods like yours are.
Mhm. Okay. Hold on. I had Tola in her time affliction. Was that a thing? Like, I know that was a thing that she got because of Arcanus. Was that a thing that she like had to learn to gain control, or was that just like the control was there?
Oh, she had to control
like
it.
someone didn't take her to learn to control it.
The reason why Tola's as reserved as she is because when viewing the future of everyone around you, it's kind of hard to be a social butterfly, as it would seem. Inability to control your own time or not view people's futures just by looking at them is an issue. Of course, seeing your own future is an issue because you're always paranoid, or at least because you'll know what'll happen before it happens. It's just harder to be a social person and really exist in a community like a Norm was when you can know everything and see everything. Hence why she's always like locked in her shop just working, because early on there was like no control, which is why she's of course at least in her middle ages right now, because if she chose to be young forever, she could have just been young forever had she had control. But it wasn't until she was in her later years in the Norm that she began to, like, I'd say at least in her mid 30s to late 30s that she began to really get control of the powers and not affect people around her, because she does have the ability to just alter time on people while she's around as well. Yeah. And they didn't mention previous Tola incidents in the trial as well of her being involved in other kind of not conspiracies, but like can't hear the word. Bad publicity is the fucking celebrity gossip, scandals. There were scandals. She has been involved in other scandals and lower tier crimes as well, from just her having a natural ability of time and stuff around her.
Okay. This is more of a like Sparks no. Victor and Herschel's life, like after then, so like I guess where they would be kid campaign.
I can't say what happens to the kid campaign, but they are married.
Yeah, I got that. I got that they were married.
She is definitely his, like, at least his secretary or advisor in terms of being a member of the Security Council. A bit more. She's still very reserved.
Yeah, I mean, it's Victor.
But does not seem to be too reserved about openly admitting that she's engaged or married at the very least. There is progress made, but...
Also, this was totally a Campaign 2 question, and I completely forgot it. Is Victor... Like, I know that Victor's not a real name. Is that what she goes by?
Currently, yes.
Okay.
So it was a Victor. It was a whole... I don't know if Christian was around for this, but Victor was the... There's an alter version of their name. The church that had trained Victor wanted Victor to become the next Holy Knight-like character. And as such, they wanted an exact copy of Leon. Therefore, they had to be a guy. Therefore, Victor was the name they chose for them to be. They didn't speak much. They used more bass in their voice. And they hid whenever they had to do anything that involved, like, changing or just not appearing, at least in public, using the bathroom like that. Because her like, oh yeah, Victor went to the bathroom somewhere. I don't know where he went. And kind of say offhand remarks like that. But yeah, Victor is still the name being used. It's been used for years at this point.
That's what I figured. I think that was it.
Awesome.
Did you get my Discord note?
I believe I did. If I'm correct. Are you marrying Joshwick? The fans want to know.
I think that it would be something. I honestly think that they would have kids before they got married. I think that Aaliyah would get engaged, and then would stay engaged for so long.
85,000 until he dies of old age. On his deathbed.
No.
By the way, when's the wedding? What the fuck? Are you shitting me?
I feel like it would be like I feel like it would take a good 5-10 years for them to get married.
The kid campaign's happening in 23 years. There's plenty of time.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe 5-10 years after let's be serious. It would take 5 years for them to get engaged, and then another 15 around that 20 years from now.
Okay.
Just because she has never she's never thought about it in terms of a thing that would happen in her life, and I think it scares her, honestly. I think she's terrified of the idea of getting married. And so she will marry Joshua, but it would take Joshua would have to basically just whip her down and slowly walk her into it.
Understand.
And there are probably moments when she'd be like, yeah, let's get married, and then 10 days later she'd be like, I can't do this.
I understand. That was the only question I had in regards to that, because there was never a direct answer given, because we weren't at the session exactly, so it was the offer was there from Joshua, but we couldn't interpret what she would have said as a character. But now we know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she'd ever date anyone else. I think Joshua was it for her, because I don't think she ever expected to find anyone she loved and wanted to spend her life with. And so I think after Joshua, she's like, I'm not looking, I'm done.
Understandable.
But yeah.
Well, thank you for
that was everything.
Thank you for your questions.
Yeah, thank you.
We got those answers we needed.
Nice playing with you, Shar.
Nice playing with you too. You're gonna be there for Kid Campaign though, right?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Would you ever let Zavari true polymorphia?
Oh, I think Lily wants to get dragon.
Nice, bet, okay.
God.
Because I heard that on because I watched the stream and I forgot to message you, but I was 100% Aaliyah would want to be a dragon.
Nice.
Yeah. Anything else before?
Nothing? Nice.
Anything else before I gotta dip out?
I don't believe so. We're just going through the questions of each campaign.
Okay. Cool.
That is all. That is all. You're free to roll.
Okay. Thanks so much, guys. Till next time.
Jeez.
All right. We are moving on to other Campaign 3 questions.
Oh yeah, so my question, and I think it's the only question I honestly had. I gotta remember. Hold on, give me a sec. It was. Oh yeah, so what exactly did the Weaver want with our old ally, our old teammate?
Can't tell you that.
Your phone posits.
You can't tell us that?
Cannot tell you that.
Are you telling me I can't ask what happened to our poor...
Zasheda? Nope.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, if you recall, the Castle Weaver did modify Zavari and Venland's memories.
Yeah,
So
I remember that.
They have more answers to what he's doing, but
Way.
no one's ever removed that modified memory of them, honestly.
Because we didn't know it was there to tell someone to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You ain't got the answers.
Oh, can I ask a different Zasheda question?
Sure.
What did you have planned before Andy left?
I guess I have notes right here. Originally, here.
Let's see, yeah.
Well, of course, that's her half brother. Regardless, that was a guarantee that been revealed. Here we go. Zasheda. I gotta go through my notes real quick. Seth one. Where is it? Where? One moment here. Almost there. Originally planned is that Zasheda was going to be dealing with the Castle Weaver stuff personally as a character. Instead of him messing with it. Well, same thing would have happened regardless. Not him taking Zasheda. Most likely we've taken the Simulacrum instead, though.
Okay.
Wouldn't have mattered as much. But...
does the Simulacrum has the memory of Zasheda?
Memories? Yeah.
Okay.
Up until the moment that she was created, and anything after that is memorized by the Simulacrum. It's just a person, currently.
Interesting.
But originally, Zasheda's thing was going to be dealing with the Castle Weaver, him offering her things as the deity of her entire race that created her, people entirely. Anything that would entail that deal and what it could mean for her as a person would, cannot be revealed, of course.
Okay.
But it has been less of him interfering in other people, and he'd been very focused directly just on Zasheda and Zasheda alone, and not really taking interest into Shinra because he wouldn't really care that much. Probably wouldn't have had anything to do with Aaliyah either. No Aaliyah dream with the Castle Weaver either. Yeah, it would have been very focused on Zasheda and sporadic messages and dreams and visions to her directly.
Did he help because of the issues with the old one? Or did he help because of Shinra asked himself?
Which one exactly?
That time where Aaliyah was in danger.
Half of it was an attempt to get into Zasheda's head more, because he was still dealing with that stuff from what Aaliyah had told you guys, and the other half was him honoring that one. It was just the one scale he gave you. It was a trade-off. You lose the scale, he gives you a warning.
Okay.
So half of it was a deal he made, was a ploy to get into Zasheda's head, as he said to Aaliyah, and the other half was just to break the connection between the two of you, so he wouldn't have any further way of being interfered with by the party at all.
Okay. Alright. That's all my question.
Yeah, any questions for Campaign 3? God. There was a very hefty, hard-hitting political drama of a world.
That's a massive question.
What was the kid's name?
What kid's name?
The kitty.
The one I saw.
The what? They're dead. It doesn't matter.
No. Give a name.
You didn't ask the name then, so there's no name to ask for now.
No, I will look for the family and I will ask for their name.
It's too late for that. This is
Nah.
You cannot.
Doing spare time. Yeah.
You can't say this now. The campaign's over. There's no during your spare
Nah,
time.
come on, bro. Please, bro. Please.
Why do you want to know the kid's name? Is it going to affect you at all in the campaign?
Yes, it will.
Dingle.
You want to know what? You want to know how? You want to know why? I'm gonna name this school after him.
I should make it the stupidest fucking name ever now. I should make it the dumbest fucking name. I really should.
Hey, yo, you better fucking not, bro. I sock you, bro.
It can't be worse than
Quadangle.
Quandale Dingle?
No, that was a really second.
Joshua.
Give me a second. Let me look at my notes. There's a really bad one. Absolutely terrible one.
Was it the store owner?
It was the random stall guy during the...
Oh my god! Was it Chris Anthony?
Tyler.
What?
Tyler.
What
Kyler.
name? Kyler?
Or freaking Luke Wald? That one's weird.
The naming that game was a trip. Okay.
What else we got?
I will have to get back to the name for that child thing, because I have to think about it seriously instead of just giving an improv name.
Brett Anderson.
Thank you.
Simonthi.
Just keep note that is the name of the school. I would even keep note of it because I wrote that in my notes, but I meant to talk to you about that when I was telling you about the school.
Okay, I put it in my notes now. But yeah, this canon. What did you send me? Is this canon in campaign 3? Woody versus Buzz Lightyear. No, it's not canon in campaign 3. Tarek. Any other question for campaign 3? But yeah, the kid's name. I would give you an improv name, but since it's actually an important thing, I will not improv someone's name off the top of my head right now. So I'll give you.
Thank you.
I'm still gonna merge 2 names, but I'll make it a decent one this time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Any other campaign 3 question you got? A lot happened in this campaign.
My bad. Who was trying to tell me to not let Kellic wake up?
That was the Chaos Weaver.
Damn. Why was he so pissy?
If you not letting the prince wake up would have either entailed him being permanently stuck catatonic or him being killed, which of course would have created a lot of. Can you guess the next word?
Wow. All right, so since we're past that point,
Ass.
what could we have actually done to stop him from waking up? He was in there, like besides a wish.
I mean, that's about it, honestly. 9th level spells were about the only way you could get anything done with that.
Of course.
That made from crystallized energy of Ao, pretty much. So you're doing something that can alter reality to really do something to him of effect.
Yeah, also Kelly very much implied that he was safe from the old one in there.
Indeed. Which is why he stayed in there for as long as he did as well. Because part of him knew he shouldn't leave there, or something bad would happen to him, was what he understood from the feeling he was getting. But it was the Chaos Fever in an attempt to try and just wedge to that gap between you and the kingdom a bit more by having you harm one of the crown princes in some way.
Alright. Does anyone else have any questions before I go off on like 5 more? I have a list.
Yo,
Nope, that is all for me, bro.
Man, I had one question. What was the name of that kid I killed? From all of campaign 3, I had one question.
Yeah, I had 2 questions. I already answered. I asked those 2 questions, but the other one you told me I couldn't.
Well,
you couldn't tell me.
Oh yeah, I can't tell you that
true.
one. Very deep question. That's a very deep question. Yeah, go. Oh, I guess we'll go. Think, Christian. Yeah, you're all good to shoot.
Oh yeah. What would have happened if there wasn't the orgy arc?
The fucking what?
Huh? What?
The fucking what?
You see, we were in Arcanus for like 12 days, right? What happened during the orgy for those 12 days?
What?
I have a question from one of our guest characters, actually. So I'm going to go to the guest character question first. Ken Devin is asking, do you think the party would have survived had they not became quote-unquote friends with the Anti-Magus faction? Was the question he asked. Um,
Alright, but
going through
what
this.
time is it? It's almost 9. DM, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to go.
All right, you're good.
Yeah. But other than that, I love you guys. It was good playing with y'all, and I would love to play with y'all again. So see y'all next time.
Bye.
See you later, Uriel.
What did you say about Uriel?
Call him Shinra. Call him Shinra at least.
Bye, Uriel. See you later.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
Hey, yo. You know, y'all don't really have to do Shinra that dirty, bro. Come on.
Uriel is these hands?
It's out to yelling.
In regards to the question of if you would have survived without the anti-magus as your quote-unquote friends, after the events of the O1 being handled, if not before, when you were in the city still, they would have... Well, they were under the control of 10 at the time, still. But there were original plans for having a few of the more disgruntled ones trying to assassinate you guys in your sleep at one point. There's I had actually an entire list of
that would have been so bad.
certain NPCs that would have attempted to kill you off in your sleep.
No, that would have been so bad if they went to Aaron.
He was one of the prime targets, actually.
Yeah, but do they know he's invincible when he takes enough damage?
They do.
Yeah, come at me. Come at me.
Yeah, people. There have been a few extremists that would have tried to kill you off either while you were asleep or just while you were generally roaming around the city. Even though you were technically out with the faction through Tenna, they would have definitely tried working with a way to try and kill a few. So it would have made any of that just walking to different shops thing a lot more dangerous.
A lot more.
Because
I don't know, if we drop a few bodies, I think they'd run out of sneak pretty quick.
But also, if you killed any of them, like directly when them were killed, or they thought they couldn't be handled, they were gonna send Oscar J after you guys, and he is a powerhouse of a
oh no, not killed, just sent to the dungeons.
And possibly, but if they couldn't handle it, they were definitely going to send one of their top dogs after you. Some of the experimental guys that were the experimental guys that were made with like the paralyzing daggers were made just to combat you guys actually.
Yeah.
The ones that can parry and use the poison, the paralysis daggers, and that can the one based on what that I think the one who they dueled. I think they actually dueled all of you guys. I'm pretty sure, other than Ray. But yeah, those guys you guys all dueled during that pit fight, they would have sent like a team of those after you guys individually, like at least 4 per person. They were literally just made to battle like they were literally just made to battle lion guards and you guys.
Oh yeah, I didn't go into the pit fight, but Ken solved my entire fucking spellbook.
Yes.
Yeah, what are they doing at Meld in the Stone though?
Well, you couldn't because Oscar J would be there also.
What about Etherealness?
Oscar is still there. If he's anywhere near you guys, I made him to be
a walking anti-magic force field.
Pretty much. His affliction, while it causes him a lot of pain, it makes him a deadly like ranged combatant. Most of his attacks were ranged based, and he I believe he has 3 reactions as well, an innate counterspell.
Damn.
So
innate counterspell.
It's just counterspell, but he can cast it without a spell slot.
Okay.
So if you fought a caster, if you try casting, he would counterspell it. You'd counterspell him. He'd counterspell you again, and he'd lose your spell. And he has
3 fucking reactions.
And he'd still have 1 reaction left. And if someone tried casting a spell, he could counterspell them as well. All in that one turn. He could counterspell Zavari twice and another caster once in on his off turn, and then just do a bunch of AoE shit around the area.
Disgusting.
Additionally, he's also immune to spells. Damage from them, to be exact. Not all spells, just damage from them. His affliction is literally... It's like the, what's it called? The first Scholar, if he didn't go insane, but also to a lesser degree. Less health, less armor class, less abilities, but he's basically built to cancel out magic for the most part. But also he has crystalline growths across his entire left side, including his eye.
Nice. No, well, not nice, but...
It is very painful, so it is not nice.
Yeah. Can I add on to this question?
Sure.
Is there any universe where we could have allied with the anti-magist, or would have they just
Yeah,
been like,
it's possible.
really?
It was
Why
possible.
is that a question?
I have a note in here for if you. Here, let me scroll it. I can tell you all the outcomes of people you side with actually.
With how far we got, with how terrible we did, I find it interesting that you wonder if we could have gotten better. Just a little more effort, we probably could have been friends with everyone very easily.
If you side with the anti-magist faction, they would have had you overthrow the Pietus family, of course, but also help them destroy Arcanus entirely. But of course, it would have been like a temporary alliance, and as soon as they were done, it'd be like, you guys, as soon as you guys leave this place, don't come back. And if they were in control, there would be no two-way portal either. You'd be gone, and that'd be it.
Would there be a one-way portal like Tola?
Yes, they would let you leave, and they would break it.
How would they do it? Tola gave us the portal.
That is true, but if they were in control of the kingdom, therefore Tola works for them, because Tola works in the favor of the people at all times.
Would they like Tola?
It doesn't matter if they like Tola or not. They couldn't do anything to Tola anyways if they didn't like her.
So Tola was the static unit in every single reality of this campaign.
Yes, Tola, regardless of whatever happened, Tola's always a constant in this world. She knows every possible outcome of what could go wrong, and she will always be there because she will not be killed unless something directly, because the way her thing works, she has to at least perceive it in some reality. If there's no reality where she like sails out to Betep by herself, she'll never know what could happen to that possibility of sailing to Betep by herself. But in a reality where the anti-magist wins, she would have seen it and sees how it happens, and sees how it plays out for her, and would have known how to counter all of it before it even happens.
Nice.
In a theoretical way, Tola is like infinitely scaled on the tier list in a theoretical way, because she could know every outcome of every fight before the fight even happens.
Worked up a white woman, goaded on the time.
But yes, there was a world where the anti-magist liked you guys, but it would have just been like, we'll help you leave, you help us overthrow this government we don't like very much, and in return, we won't try to kill you guys, ever. For now.
Ever. For now.
Yeah. It'd been just like that, ever, but then the for now as well. If you chose the Coven, it would have just been helping. Honestly, the Coven was like one of the easier routes. It would have just been like, help us get Zen back, and then we can reseal the O1 and the Chaos Weaver.
We just had to show them Aldous. And
honestly?
They would have said, don't let Kellic create more gods or become a god. Don't let Inorum, create too many like god-rivaling items, which directly opposes Tenna and Kellic. Because Kellic wanted everyone to be a glyphcaster, Tenna wanted everyone to be a glyphcaster, Kellic wanted to make a new era of gods, or cosmic beings, I guess, because they're not actually deities. So if we were to come in like, hey, help us bring back Zen, then we can reseal the O1 of the Chaos Weaver, and then we'll stop the Prince from making glyphcasters from making it the glyphcaster race and making more cosmic beings.
Did we get the good ending?
No one died. Most of the kingdom's friendly now.
Yeah.
Anti-Magist mostly died, though.
Stable ending.
Stable.
Correction, the Coven died the most.
Oh, of course they did. They got invaded.
And Anti-Magist was just imprisoned a lot, because the kingdom didn't want to kill their own people.
Yeah, but then there was the raid in the underground area because of the old one.
Yes, that was a lot of death.
Ken might not have been dead.
No. Ken would have been alive still.
Bad ending.
Of course, Kellic's ending would have led him, or working with Kellic directly would have been imprison Avandra, stop his brother from making a race of glyphcasters.
See,
that's about it.
We did the Kellic ending. It just couldn't end until we beat the old one.
Tenna's ending would have been, don't allow Kellic to become a pseudo deity of sorts, and overthrow my sister and expose her before the people.
So, what would have happened in court if the Avandra mind break thing didn't work?
You've been broken out by Tenna.
That's a lot more brutal than...
Yes, Tenna would have had Belloir break you guys out, because he would be the only inside man left.
Oh man, it was so cool seeing her silence the court.
However, Belloir would then be imprisoned and have his mind altered. and then it would be Tenna's faction making a last-ditch effort for the crown, while the prince has Belloir and Akari.
Sounds like the worst version of our ending.
Yes. Avandra would have been capture her brothers, get them to stop doing what they're doing of making more glyph caches, or not making a race of glyph caches, and not making more pseudo deity things. And then also help her make a way to use Arcanus less to help the people as best she could. She would want to use Arcanus less later in the line. Her whole thing was be for the military first. It would have been like, capture my brothers, no glyph casters, no cosmic beings, help me bolster the military any way you can, and then find a way to fix Arcanus afflictions. It's like the last final step. I mean, honestly, all of the royal family didn't have terrible plans. Well, none of the factions had terrible plans. The worst ending is, at least the worst ending for, like, future diplomacy was the Anti-Magus ending. Because that would have seen no planar gateway, and the Providus family either dead or in prison. All of them. Oh, and I forgot. This is actually a very important thing. Before you left, the Anti-Magus would ask you to help them. Where is it? Yes, they would help at the party. Ask the party to help them make an anti-magic system or a blood curse to make sure no one casts magic ever again.
Bruh.
It's important to remember as well. But also this is like original, like, first draft writing out their motives as well. But yeah, other questions. Sorry, I wanted to tangent there because you went into like what would happen if we sided with this faction. Like, oh, there's things for all sides actually. So I'll just tell you them real quick. But yeah, what other questions do you have about campaign 3, everybody?
Anyone else?
You're both muted.
Bruh, I still have a few questions.
Then you're welcome to shoot them off until they get back.
I'm trying to give them a chance.
I'm here. My bad.
You have a question?
No, I was just listening.
Bruh. Alright, fine. I'll ask my... What if we didn't self-destruct the gateway in the cabin?
It'd just still be there.
We could have taken a perfect smack of it, though, yeah?
It was not a functional one, but you could have.
90% compared to every other example.
That is true. Other than the one in the gateway facility, it was the closest thing to being complete that there could be.
Faster? We use that one?
A bit faster? Yes.
We still would have had to go get the roads. And we still would have had to learn the ingredients in the Coven facility when we got Winston.
At least you'd had to still go to the
most important notes in the entire campaign, and we almost forgot about it.
But with that, you definitely could have gotten a bit more intel from, at least for telehelping. It would have been a better, a lower DC for the time frame of the final production phase of the gateway. Where it was like the 2.5-3 weeks of work, it would have been a lot less time for that if you had that ahead of time. Could have been less to decipher from your personal notes you drew.
Oh, well, if that's concluded. What if I wasn't in the game? Would Aldous have still been a thing in this world?
Yes, I believe so.
Interesting.
I think at the time, when dealing with Aldous, it was still, I think it's going to involve, I forget how it would have, I don't think, I don't have the notes anymore because it was changed. Wait a minute, do I have notes on Aldous here actually? Let me see. It's been a while since I've actually looked at the original Aldous notes in this game. Apparently, I don't know. Actually, I don't see it. I usually, because I started writing the campaign or most of it when you arrived, so of course I erased a lot of my old notes for it. But originally, Aldous was still going to be around because he would be required to help break the kind of cosmic curse on Winston that his dad placed on all invading deities when they arrived.
So they would have always allied with him eventually?
No.
Huh.
Aldous didn't like them originally. Well, for a while, of course, as well, after he didn't like them either. His plan was to break the seal on Winston's body and then steal his body. And then he'd have a very strong body to start off with.
There you go.
Guys, this makes up for all the terrible stuff I did.
There'd be no god of death on the material plane for a while, or maybe at all. Who knows? Yeah. And also have the power over life and death.
Holy crap.
And all his normal powers as well. And his first mission would be to learn his strength and then come back and kill you guys.
Oh boy. Oh, happy memories here.
So this was all.
That could happen. Like, no, that could happen. That was a possibility. Even with Benley, it was a possibility. There's also a possibility of him. Originally, if you guys didn't befriend him, he was going to still. He was going to either steal Winston's body or steal Kellick's deity body after he got it. If he got it.
Okay, here's the thing. The whole body thing. Aldous only got a physical form with another body because of the ritual we did with the paint.
Yes, the first scholar's body.
So he would have tricked them into doing that with Winston?
Yep, he would have said it was part of the process of breaking the curse of the body.
Oh yeah, I would have said right for that. I would have, yep.
Mm-hmm.
That would have worked way too well.
Really well. Very, very, very well.
Holy crap. No
questions asked.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Aldous was written to possibly be a good guy, but also possibly be a bad guy. It's really up in the air on how he was treated. It's also up to how he was treated as a character.
So who treated him the best then?
I mean,
nah. You see, it's funny is Venlin just kept using him as information kiosk. It was great. It's like, Aldous, I see a purple rock. What color is that rock?
It's purple. You just.
He's so angry half the time.
He was very angry early on because of course, he wanted you to be dead originally. Until, of course, after the time skip, he was more comfortable with you being around. But originally, he wanted you to be dead as well, Ben.
Oh, I know. We had that talk.
Originally, he killed you also. He wanted you dead. With the party around, he wanted them dead, but he also wanted a new body that they brought with them. Like he was on a mission. He had a lot of planning I had written for him. Let me pull it up, actually. Control F. Over here, please. Control F. Aldous. Yep, here's the first one. Also, funny enough, Kellick would have also asked for Aldous' soul. If he didn't have a body by the time he got his new form, or before he started working on his new form, he would have tried to strip Aldous' soul from your body.
Yikes.
That was the Kellick bad end right there. If he was really desperate, he would have just taken it from you. But he had a body by that time, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot. A lot could have happened with Aldous. But of course, he is Aldous, so even if Kellick took his soul, as soon as Kellick gets that new strength, the new body, also just taking it right back. After doing all the work for him, he would take the body right back.
I saved you guys from a secondary big bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah, definitely.
And this one would have been a very direct big bad as opposed to the old one. Because he would know your faces and he would hunt you actively.
See, this is what no elf pussy does to a half god.
My goodness.
Whoa.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Go on to the questions then.
This is the less sussy one. What if, after we learned that the king was assassinated by the princess, we confronted her with the knowledge of it, not wanting to act on it negatively, to try to negotiate, like, a future for things working out? Using the fact that they defeated the All as kind of a trump card to prove the power of the party?
Of course, they would know who the All is, but not a single soul believed you beat him ever.
The princess believed us?
She did, but that was a bit after the fact as well.
Pose. But still, what if we went and negotiated with the princess with the knowledge of what happened?
I'm fairly certain, from what I had written down at the time, she would have tried to find a way to keep you quiet about it through the negotiations. And if that did not work, she would either try to imprison you, or she would have her top dogs jump you guys, and then use you as an example to the people of the kingdom escaping, or the kingdom being strong enough to avoid external threats of great power. But you guys would use the whole.
She's about to hang us in the middle of Times Square.
No, she would have just had you beaten and bloodied in chains in front of the entire kingdom, like a basically like a huge propaganda thing. Like, look,
that's what I say.
These guys that I guess for everyone, like, these guys said they beat the All. These guys fought a bunch of strong monsters. We kicked their ass. We're the better.
I think
better.
The Bible wrote this exact storyline.
You know, they built a whole thing like, we're better, we can escape, you know, the old ways of deities and stuff ruling over us. These guys got nothing on us, you know, for a norm, all that shit. It'd been a huge a huge patriot speech on why they're on you know, their strength.
Bro, they drop the bottom to hang Eric, and he just gets glowy eyes for a minute. He's just still there, like, I'm waiting to die.
He just starts
I would have to be able to break. There's no way I wouldn't be able to break out, right? Like,
I mean, you could, but if you were being, you know,
that would be
executed, there'd be lion guards and specter knights around you as well.
Just from a story perspective, like, we defeated them. They said they did all this shit, and I just started glowing.
Yeah, like they hang your body. They're like, your eyes open. They're like, ooh.
They'd stop you from spilling all the beans right there, and they'd have to believe you a little bit.
Honestly.
Yeah, that was a possibility. Her original goal was, since things were already as unstable as they were between the anti-magus, some of the people, and the kingdom, she'd been like, they know this shit, we probably got to keep them quiet some way, and if not, you know, net cut, get them out of here. Lock away somewhere, kill them, I don't care.
Damn.
Not even the name.
She never would become an antagonist. If you guys never knew what the king thing, she would never become an antagonistic force at all in regards to anything. If you guys just never found out about the king, like, she never would have once questioned your or not trusted you guys at all. Originally, she was wholly on board, like, oh, outsiders are here. Oh my god, we got outsiders. This is great. We can try and, you know, make this work, make a new future for the people, establish connections. And then she's like, oh, they know a bit too much. They might fuck this up for me.
See, we didn't ever come forward about that until way later.
Exactly. And until you asked the question about the king, she had no problem with you guys either, which is why the queen was in the room, because she assumed you didn't know. So she had her ace in the hole in that room with her.
Oh, yeah.
But once you got a bit too inquisitive, she called her assassin into the room with no one. Of course, no one noticed, and she had guards stationed at the doors waiting to break through if things went bad. Which is what no one knows. I think I had someone roll a check for it.
My passive 27 didn't pick up on them. That's what's scary.
Oh no, she's got rogue in one of her classes. She's a multi-class. She's got rogue in one of her multi-classes.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, she would try to make it work, but if you guys made it more difficult than it was, she wouldn't have taken any chances. She was on a mission, save the people, everything else can die. Literally die.
Man. What the hell? This campaign could have been so short.
Yeah, we could have fucked up a lot.
Could have been a lot bloodier too.
No, wait. What? Tell me the shortest good ending.
Shortest good ending? You guys just, I mean, honestly, you'd just be waiting around for Toll to tell you where to go next. If not, well, you'd be exploring too, but it'd be finding like notes in the gateways from like, I actually had notes in each of the facilities that the Covenant owned about gateways and like an unnamed facility that has a gateway in it. So had you just explored and found Covenant places without, you know, doing anything with the kingdom, you could have just gathered up knowledge on where the Glaw facility was and just beeline it to that gateway facility and fought the old one there.
Damn.
And gotten the blueprints for Tola, and she would just finish it up.
Not about.
At most, or at least, it could have been like 2-3 months in game, at least.
Bruh. That would have been insane.
Yep.
Imagine if you guys were only gone for 2 years.
Instead of 7. Yeah, you guys got any other questions? Any other questions? Shoot them my way. We are nearing 9:30, which I mean, there's no rush to end it, but preferably before 10 o'clock. But yeah, anyone got any?
I have a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
This is stupid. Would, like, Zen's, like, generals or whatever it was that was, like, leading the war that we killed off, would they be in hell right now?
No.
Damn.
When all of them died, Zen arrived and disintegrated them directly.
Damn, alright.
So any souls they had were destroyed by him. That includes all of their gear, because he made sure to disintegrate their gear as well. If you guys recall.
And their souls? Come
Yes.
on.
No chances of them falling, because he knows how the afterlife works here. If they get captured by a god and they are forced to tell them his plans, it's a gap in his his military might. Of his like top dogs being captured and forced to speak. But no, they would not be in the hells. If anything, they'd be in what's it called? Pandemonium, either Pandemonium or Limbo, one of the two.
Alright.
Yeah, any other questions for Campaign 3? Really now? No questions?
I'm waiting.
Oh, I'm waiting.
I have a couple more.
Yeah.
Question.
Nail your target. Any questions for Campaign 3 then?
Where's the milk?
What?
Any other questions for Campaign 3?
Where's the... Well,
What?
come on.
You
You're
don't
not answering my question.
want to know what that milk is, bro.
Where's the milk?
I can't tell you that without killing you, Tark. You know this.
Oh.
It's a secret.
I ain't never seen no cows in this world.
That's the problem.
Farm.
You gotta see them cows.
Ain't no farms where all this food coming from.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Is this fucking Snowpiercer?
No, it's not. It's not.
Is this Snowpiercer?
No. The wildlife they catch and kills in the forest.
Cockroach.
No, the wildlife.
Cockroach
The wildlife
ass.
they like the patties,
why
right?
these
Like
people are so
the
strong.
bars.
Because they've been eating cockroaches.
But yeah, any food they catch or kill is usually found in the forests.
Hmm.
There aren't a lot of, of course they have fishing. They fish, they harvest berries, they hunt in the forest. Most of it comes from.
Hey, yo, I do fit in here.
You fit in well. Of course, they have some
hunting.
synthetic foods that they make from like magics and things.
What?
Yes, they have magics to make stuff. So if there's ever a food shortage, they can just make some synthetic food that are nutritional enough to sustain people.
Man, even I could do that.
Of course, there's the spells that can just create food and drink. Most of them don't have it, but they have like equivalents that can make like smaller meals and stuff. But yeah, it's usually just hunted, fished, or harvested, foraged. But yeah, most produce comes from like Sars Valley or the outskirts of Cape Vern, and most like seafoods come from Cape Vern, of course. Sars Valley is like wines and like game, and then Cape Vern is like seafoods and some produce.
Hmm.
So I mean, the map didn't show it. Like I suppose I showed like the port of the city or like the heart of Sars Valley, but they're of course they're bigger settlements than that. There aren't like 10 people that live in Sars Valley. There's a couple hundred out there. Yeah.
Why don't they go to any of the other islands?
They aren't easily because they kind of just drift in space. You can't really choose where you go. I mean, the Coven can. The Coven makes, well, unbeknownst to you guys, but also I guess kind of beknownst because it was in some of the documents. The Coven has made prototype individual gateway devices. Like it's in singular people to somewhere in the void to explore and like chart stuff for the Coven.
Whoa.
Which is also how Jeremiah made his way over to the Outsiders campaigns. He used one of the devices. He was the one that developed it, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they can, and they definitely have. The Coven has at least, but the Kingdom of Norm has had, at least at that time, no desire to explore outward. They want to just build up their infrastructure.
Damn. Does Eric die?
You'll find out.
Spoiler.
In the next campaign.
That's
You will find out You'll find out the next campaign, I'm afraid.
If you stay in the Norm, you're gonna be the youngest member of the party for a while.
He's not in a Norm.
Oh, he came back already?
Okay, he said that real fast.
Nope, if you recall.
No, I'm not in the Norm. I'm in the other place.
The last thing Eric saw was a well-dressed man
All
in
the
Emerald.
fucking holders and shit.
Named
A well-dressed man in what?
Emerald and Black, named Sovereign Tufan Tasmin.
Yeah.
Really?
That was the last thing Eric saw before his epilogue ended.
That's where the other party went, right? That's where they were at for a
the
minute,
Outsiders,
right?
yes, that's where they were.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does that mean he's gonna meet who I think he meets?
Possibly.
Possibly. Is that spoilers?
I can't tell you anything.
Are you telling me that he who will not be named is gonna be in the 4th chapter?
It's a possibility.
Or is this all set up for Outsiders Part 3?
Who knows? I can't disclose any of this.
Oh man. Which means you can't tell me anything about the Ishtar Empire, can you?
I can. They're not relevant anymore.
Oh.
If you recall, when Outsiders ended, Ulam was being forcefully withdrawn somewhere deep into the void to be not near the cities anymore.
Oh, I forgot that took down the entire Ishtar Empire.
Yeah, the Ishtar Empire is at this. Well, for them, it's been 20 months since the campaign ended for you guys. For you, it's been 20 years. For them, it's been 20 months. They're still recovering from being invaded by Ulam, as the rest of the cities are.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever gonna be like, "Oh, I can't help but notice you have a planar gateway to the material plane. Don't mind if we."
They won't. I'm gonna be very honest. No army in the other cities can handle a Norm at their current might. Even the overseers of Ishtar are at most now on par with Lion Guards.
Yikes! Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes, the Ishtar Empire.
They would kill us instantly.
The overseers could still demolish a lot of people. Yeah, they are. The overseers are the equivalent of Lion Guards, but the normal footmen of the Ishtar Empire are just very numerous. They very much like the guardsmen in Warhammer, kind of like that. They are just very numerous and very devout in following Emperor Silvus Lark Ishtar the Third.
I never knew his full name.
Is that his name? Something Lark Ishtar the Third.
Listen, Gelt would have never written that down, so
that's fine. No one did because he hasn't been him once.
He tried to kill me.
But yeah, as much as they would, well, also you gotta remember that the overseers from Ishtar came to make peace with the Norm earlier on, just how they caught Rey. So Ishtar and the Norm are at like a pseudo standstill as far as you guys are aware in terms of diplomacy.
That was like forever ago.
Yes, it was. But still, in the span of things, it's only been 20 months. Well, I guess no. If we're counting from the beginning of the party arriving, it's been 27 months. maybe 30 since the Ishtar Empire was invaded by Ulam. So they're still recovering from that, as are the rest of them. But Ulam's somewhere out in the void now, under the control of Tufan Tasmin, the first canonical vampire of my D&D world.
He's just Strahd.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, that's Ishtar Empire I can give you, because they're... I'll be frank, they're not going to be involved in Outsiders Part 3 in any way.
Alright.
So what happens to them from now doesn't really matter. They were... Oh, also, but another... Hinted at multiple times, the 4 cities from Outsiders were once a part of the mainland of Anorum, as well as other like continents. But when Zen and Ao fought, they literally fractured the continent and created Arcanus, which would send the other places drifting apart.
Alright, time for the really tough questions. How many of the creatures were in the ocean, Gabe?
How many of what creatures?
How many other creatures did
Oh my god! I will You guys are on roll 20. But I will...
I'm on roll 20?
Oh, you guys are on roll 20? I will show you... I will show you... Of course you've seen this one.
We literally have only seen the shrimp. That's it.
You're on the wrong game.
And you've seen the big one also. The one that like ate the shrimp whole, right?
Wait.
I'll pull up.
Maybe.
I'll pull up anyways.
I think we saw that happen, but I don't know if we saw the creature.
I'm gonna show you some creatures that are in the ocean that you did not see. You're probably glad. Well, they were also in the deep ocean. They were like at the depth where the sea temple was, kind of thing. If you're in, so of course there's these guys here that you saw.
Yeah.
That ate the shrimp whole.
Yeah.
Here's this. Well, this one isn't from the ocean. But this is the sand jelly that you guys saw like once.
They teleported to it and then immediately teleported away.
I was so upset. However, there was.
Scary. What did you want us to do?
There was this thing in the super depths of the ocean.
Yeah, I love that picture.
This thing was super down deep in the ocean.
We could have seen one of those.
The lore behind them also is that you know those eyes of Zen that were once that you guys saw on the battlefield in Brimstone. It's just those things that evolved in the ocean, pretty much.
Oh,
they were left behind after Zen beat Ao, and they just evolved down there. And they became a dominant predator. AC of 22, 477 hit points.
Why?
They have a gaze, so you can make a DC 20 intelligence saving throw, or you are incapacitated.
Oh!
You can make them each turn. On a successful save, you take 10d8 psychic damage, and you gain True Sight, Detect Thoughts, and Detect Magic for 1 day. If you pass the save. But if you don't pass the save, you're just incapacitated underwater.
No, we don't need True Sight underwater, please.
As it is the Eye of Zen, you have to make a charisma saving throw. It has a cone attack. And since it's evolved, if you fail the saving throw, you take 20d8 force damage, and you are temporarily erased from existence.
What kind of problem?
What the fuck? Define erase from existence.
Temporarily, you are removed. It's like Blink, but you don't go anywhere.
Okay.
If you fail, you can make the save at the start of each of your turns. If you fail the save 5 times, you're gone forever, and only a wish spell can bring you back.
Bro?
Fuck.
Which means that our souls are start somewhere.
Yes, but in the creature.
What if we wish to resurrect literally every single lost soul during Campaign 3?
That would have made some people very angry.
Yeah, there are some people that
there are things that count as spells as well. Well, actually, they don't really... Again, they aren't going to matter for you guys. They might matter for the Outsiders Part 3 game, but they don't matter for you guys, because the Prosecutors aren't going to appear again for you guys. You guys are back in the material plane.
Yeah.
I can now I can disclose this now, because the campaign's over, but...
They have no power here?
No, they do. They're a lot stronger than you guys gave them credit for, actually. They existed... according to a book written by Ao himself that was in the Water Temple, they were around before he was. They have multiple ranks that are unknown to people. And when you die in the Far Realm, your soul is stored in a library that they own. And they will review your life, and if you're deemed fit to be brought back somewhere, they'll put you in a different plane somewhere, and if you're not, they'll erase you. And if they like you a lot, you become a prosecutor yourself.
What?
Damn.
Died. Damn it.
They didn't like you. You were a freaking...
But yes, they literally review your whole life. And that's why there's so many rules about, like, if a prosecutor goes rogue, do this. It's why they have a whole thing where they erase your entire memory of your past existence, and you're just a prosecutor. But if by some miracle you recover memories and go rogue, they are sent off to eradicate you from existence entirely.
But
yes, that is what they do. The prosecutors have they have the ability to go to any plane. They don't go to planes. They stay in the Far Realm, but they monitor. They really just monitor gods and people that come to the Far Realm, and the lives that happen in the Far Realm. So technically, souls in the Far Realm are gone, to the extent that they'll never be back in the Far Realm again. Typically, they'll be put somewhere else. But
is Ray a prosecutor?
No, Ray's a realm walker.
Ray hated them so much.
Yeah. Also, Ray had knowledge on the prosecutor as well about what they do, about how they
Ray
pluck souls.
Whoa. Huh?
If he spoke about it, he could have summoned them instantly.
I mean, the knowledge doesn't hurt anyone. It's just more like knowledge that, like, if you die here, there's a chance of you never being you ever again.
So, can the prosecutors overrule Witch?
Technically, they could, because they can undo time-related instances, but they won't.
What if you wish that the prosecutors will have gone?
They might do that one.
There is a guy called the Prosecutor General that runs all of them.
What?
That will find you. And that's all I will say about it.
He's just a general? Oh no.
Yeah, they have...
He does nothing all fucking day, and then some fucking crazy situation happens a million years in the future in one out of, like, 1 billion universes, and he's like...
And they're like, what the fuck are they doing, bitch? You stupid?
Doom music starts up.
He rises for the first time in decades.
It would be like the gun devil.
Pager. And he just beep 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 beep.
But yes, fun fact: in the Hall of Divinity in the Sea Temple, the creature there was on one half it was Ao and a bunch of gods you knew. On the other half it was Zen, and in the middle of the hall it was the Prosecutor General, but you guys didn't know who it was. It was just a huge figure with a smoking head. That was a bit bigger than Ao. That was a bit larger than Ao was on the mural.
What?
He was drawn in the Hall of Divinity in the very middle of.
Paladin for the wrong god.
In the very middle of Ao and Zen was the Prosecutor General, because as much as Ao is like a neutral, he's more like a lawful neutral. The prosecutors are a true neutral. No, he's a neutral. The prosecutors are a lawful good. I'm to be exact. They abide by laws.
I know it's literally not possible, but you should totally, for like a just for a fun side project, make a theoretical, like, player-abled Oath of Prosecution Paladin.
Whoa.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. It would definitely involve your Channel Divinity, or your... not Channel Divinity, that's clerics. What is it called? What's it called? I forgot the name of the paladin thing they have.
I don't know.
Both?
Their auras?
It's not Channel Divinity. No, don't they have some ability they use? Like, it's like a sporadic use thing they have?
Wiki does slow down.
I guess not. I was wrong. Never mind.
You know, they have oaths and smite. That's the only interesting things I think they did. Or not oaths, auras. They have their auras.
That is true. I'm gonna go check out the tenants. No, yeah, they do. Channel Divinity right here. Yeah, they do have Channel Divinity.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, you were thinking Divine Intervention.
That's what I was thinking. My bad. Yeah.
How? Out of all the things you confuse,
I keep messing up. I'm sorry. All right.
Every single time ever. It was like, dude, this curse kind of sucks.
But yeah, it definitely involved like a channel event that involved like imprisoning your mind in somewhere while they judge you on something. It would be like the whole thing.
Gosh, that would be so cool.
But yeah, that's what the prosecutors do. They're I told it all to Mason, but they're technically a lawful good faction because they directly follow the law that is written and nothing else.
That would make them lawful neutral then.
Is that?
Yeah, because neutral means you have no opinion on any standing, you're just to the law. Lawful good would have a bias towards whatever you consider good.
Isn't the first one adjective?
If you consider the law good, then I guess...
Oh yeah, so yeah, right, lawful neutral, yeah. In accordance to a law, tradition, or... Yeah, my bad. Lawful neutral. They'd be lawful neutrals. I was a true neutral, they're lawful neutrals. Zen is chaotic neutral.
Beautiful.
Or to be
all the gods are never right or wrong. They just are.
Wouldn't a lawful neutral be lawful to, like, no allegiance?
I'm looking at them right now.
Not to actual laws?
Neutral good is do the best you can to help others according to their needs.
Alright.
Lawful neutral is acting according to law, tradition, or personal codes.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
True neutral is steer clear of moral questions and don't take sides.
Mm.
And chaotic neutral is follow their whims, holding personal freedom above all else.
Honestly, I think this is one of those moments where you just have to break out of the 9 alignment chart and just make your own.
They're very limiting. But to say the least is that the prosecutor, they follow laws. Ao follows what maintains some sort of status quo. And Zen is whatever ensures... Well, Zen's like the opposite end. It's status quo, but a self-determined status quo. It's like, this is truly... I was like, this is truly balanced. Zen is like, this is balanced in my eyes.
It's just two better things. Oh crap! I said that. Oh crap! Disney, don't take that.
Disney, please.
We're not gonna animate Outsiders. Please.
Don't tell them about that. No. They scan my brain for all Felix knowledge.
Blame Joey. Oh wait, they can't. That would be
Keyblade wielder detected.
That'd be a hate crime.
Wow. What?
Wait, no, we have immunity. They can't take it down because it would be a hate crime.
We are a diverse group. We've got minorities. We got everyone, bro. You can't hate us. We're your ticket in with everyone. You love us.
Holy crap!
Buy me this. Don't buy me. No, wait. 1 week from now. Hello, guys. So Fraction was being replaced with an MCU Eternals campaign. Don't ask why. Sponsored. Look at a camera.
There's a camera suddenly?
No, that'd be great because then we could do official animated what if for Gabe's campaign.
You're right! Disney! Hey! You come here often? Any other questions for campaign 3? I got distracted. Any other questions for campaign 3?
Nah, you got more distracted than you think. We didn't even finish the ocean creature exploration.
There were only... Were there more than that? I don't know. That's a good question. There were the...
I hope not. With those kind of things living down there, what
else?
Elder
eyes, the shrimp, which are they called? The glow bait.
What about us?
You guys asking about sky creatures, which you should be asking about.
What the hell? What the hell cut the dragon in half?
This?
Oh, it's a giant fucking flying thing with the razors for wings. Yeah.
Yeah. That dude's pretty cool.
You have not.
We almost did. That's the one that cut the mountain too.
Yes.
Dragon.
The reason why I described every mountaintop as equal level whenever you guys went places, like I'm like there are small mountains that are like pointed off, but the tallest ones are all equal level and flat. It's because that thing would just cleave, so it can fly.
What was this it just needed more fly space. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just so easy for it to cut shit down that it's like more trouble to go around the fucking mountain.
Pretty much.
Oh my god.
It has no motive but to rule the sky. Literally no motives. Its name in my notes is the Sky Tyrant. It has no other motives but being the biggest, fastest, strongest thing in the sky.
Alright, wait.
It is chaotic evil. It just kills and wants to be the best. No motives.
Yeah,
Head empty, just strength.
I like this guy.
You want to fight him now, huh?
I do.
Oh, Leah would have had a ball against back.
Can I fight him? I can fly now.
Its normal attacks can attack up to 5 creatures at a time.
What?
Okay, so
a normal melee attack can hit 5 creatures all at one time. It's a sweep.
It's just a cleave.
And it does 10d10 plus 10 bludgeoning from the
But
chains.
Eric do be the champion of Iowa.
That is true. He do be the champion of Iowa.
Eric
Could
do
throw
be
hands
the
right
goat.
now.
You would if you weren't on Ulam.
That's,
Man,
I like that. That's so cool.
I will throw hands with this man right now.
All right, wait.
Can I?
Where did the
Can I
clouds
do-
come from?
I want to be like
The what?
like Jin.
Where did the wild magic clouds come from?
They just happen out here.
That's awful.
Just weather.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is.
What's the weather like? Oh, it's raining cats and dogs. That's a good one. No, literally, all the raindrops were cats and dogs.
That's my cousin Jerry. No, but yeah, it is the wild magic is literally just residual cosmic energy that just lingers about. That has taken
Hey, yo,
no
can I
shape
just-
and no form.
Yeah, can I tame this? This is Eric's new arc. I want to tame this guy.
The
I
Sky
wanna
Tyrant.
have-
You want to tame the Sky Tyrant.
Yeah, I want to ride him. I'm gonna ride Jackson on top of my hyena, on top of another dragon,
Adon.
on top of one of the shrimps, on top of this guy.
I'm back, everyone! Through the planar gateway, it's just the big thing comes flying out.
It sees all the new mountains to get rid of.
It's like Doomslayer.
Can this be my new arc?
No, you
wait.
cannot. You cannot tame this
Oh.
guy.
Would certain cities be too tall, like Elven Spire and the such?
Possibly.
Or Daru? That looks huge down there.
Yes, the capital city of Darude is very tall, but possibly the
Fine.
very tall cities. If there's any buildings at least mountain height in its flight, honestly, once it picks a flight path, that's the flight path it has. It doesn't matter if it's high or low. It could choose to like skim above just the soil and just clear everything above like 30 feet off the ground if it really wanted to.
Massacres everyone.
It could. The creature chooses what it wants to cut down because it's
I need
chaotic
to-
evil. It just wants to be the biggest, baddest thing and fly where it wants to without being hindered by anything else.
Like if this thing decides that sky is a foot off the ground.
Roll. What would I have to roll to tame this man's?
You'd have to beat it in a fight at least
Okay.
3 times.
Right now.
And it might consider you not a challenge anymore, worth the fighting.
At what?
If you beat
If
it,
I
it might not consider you a challenge worth fighting anymore. Be like, alright, I can't beat him. That's your
And
part
just
of the...
leave?
Yeah, that's your part of the sky now.
Bro? He'll cut down mountains with this little dude on a
And if he
horse
gets beat
or on
3
a dog.
times, it's not worth it anymore. That's your sky now, bro. You got it.
What if
That's
what if I?
amazing.
then
However,
what if
he
I
will
follow
train
him?
and come back for you.
No, but then what if I follow him? What if I beat him like 6 times in like a short period of time?
Can it talk?
Just whoop his ass repeatedly.
Let me see if we can
Yeah,
talk.
I literally just beat him into a submission.
I'd be very impressed by that ability.
How many times?
2, nope, it cannot talk. It's got average intelligence.
But I can speak to animals.
That is true. It is an
So we
aberration,
could-
though.
I think that's one of my
No.
favorite enemies.
You get
So I-
that +2 damage.
No, I think I picked up a thing where I can talk to all my favorite
Oh,
enemies.
well, in that case, you could speak to it. You might think you're okay.
You're never gonna be this cat parent.
Yes, I will.
You would
This
not.
is-
This character
this
it
is
has more.
real.
It has more HP than Kellic does, and it does more damage than Kellic does.
Okay, but I was going easy on Kelly because I don't have the crystal.
Dispel audacity.
Because I don't have the crystal. Okay, if I had the crystal, Gabe, the crystal,
The
meth,
crystal, Gabe. I had the crystal. Gabe. If I had the crystal.
if I had the crystal,
Any
with
other-
my nutrient-
In regards to the sea creatures, there are no other sea creatures that are out there that exist.
30, all my stats.
Other than those 3, the large one that eats things, the small shrimp, and the really big eye, nothing else exists in the ocean.
Wait,
Of course,
Did you
there's
guys
normal
see
fish,
my-
but hostile
transfer-
monsters that could hurt the party bad, not like a piranha or something.
Why are you just talking over Eric?
I'm ignoring
Oh my
this. I'm
God,
ignoring the
it's
Sky
30
Tyrant talk.
now.
I'm
all
ignoring
my
it.
stats is 30.
That's
All
very
my
nice.
stats is 30.
That's-
Wait,
Plus
so,
the crystal.
That's very nice, Tarek.
Plus the crystal.
All my stats is 30 now.
so, real big question. Do you think the party would have survived this campaign if I wasn't there to use mass heal?
No.
No, absolutely not.
We need a healer.
Zashea took a healer spot in campaign 2 as best she could, and they also had Grim.
Yeah, purely off of like druid healing stuff and Zasheda with like healing potions.
And don't forget the it's Tohill medivacing potions around, the angel tear earrings that gave her healing spells, and that's about it. If it wasn't for those two, they would have died in campaign 2. If it wasn't for you, they would have died in campaign 3. If it wasn't for Elaine, they would have no. If it wasn't for Grim, they would have died in campaign 1. Elaine didn't heal not once. It was just burning hands on sight. I remember it vividly. The only spell he would cast would be burning hands. And if he couldn't cast burning hands, he would reluctantly swing his mace if he didn't have burning hands to cast. Reluctantly.
That's a commitment.
He would walk past somebody dying.
Just to cast. Like, I'll heal in a second here, but first, these 5 here, burning hands.
Okay, but for real.
Any other questions regarding campaign 3?
Does the simulacra have a wish?
Tyrant.
What happened, Christian?
Does the simulacra have a wish?
The simulacra.
Yo!
It's a Shada simulacra.
Charisma.
It does have wish, yes.
Couldn't she just wish for her body?
She can't speak.
Shit.
That hasn't stopped you before, Gabe.
She writes stuff down.
Yeah, what about that one spell that I don't think is a non-verbal? The water-breathing one.
Which one?
The one that...
Water breathing?
Yeah, the one that we got on the way down to the temple.
It's called water breathing?
Yeah. Tell me
I
why
just skipped out on that. I had no clue. I really just blanked out on that.
Bruh. You know, every single bomb maiden at the brothel got water breathing.
What?
Dog, what? Every maiden at the brothel got water breathing. Bro, I got gargling, bro. They don't need air.
You're not allowed to be a
Don't talk with your mouth full. Cast water breathing.
You're not allowed to be a DM with what you consider in a fantasy world. I hate that.
Tarek's face will be amazing, bro. Every maid at the brothel got water breathing. You fall to a brothel. I got tattoos. Well, the tattoos for they're all the same. It's the water breathing spell. It's constantly being cast on them. For what reason? They just keep walking.
You ask him any other lore question, and then he's like, "Oh yeah," and you're like, "That doesn't make sense," and everyone else is like, "Yeah, but did you know that all the maidens in the brothel got water breathing?"
It's more important than any other world lore.
Why? Oh, it's so dumb.
I can't.
Oh my god. That has to be the worst thing I've ever heard. Did someone else quote that? Please tell me.
No, I'm not quoting that. All the maidens, the brothel got water breathing. So I just imagine some dude pulling up the thing. I hope you got water breathing, babe. They don't call me the gas tank for nothing.
Hey, where's the clutch? What is this shit?
Fill her up, please. It's all just bad gas station puns.
Gabe, please, you're not. This is not.
Hi guys, we're back. Any other questions regarding campaign 3?
Alright, I have to think about it.
This
Could I have threatened the Chaos Weaver with the knowledge that we have ins with the all?
Threaten him in what regard, though?
I mean, would he have taken me seriously if I blatantly just said that we have technically, very loosely, contact with the all, but I could just tell him we have contact with the all as a general threat?
He'd give you the time of day more in conversation.
That's what I was thinking. But
most things in the farm don't intermingle really. At this point in the game, as long as the Chaos Weaver isn't, toppling civilizations or usurping Zen's throne, he's not gonna pay much mind to him. He's at most, he's he's still up in the S tier for power, but that's not really much in terms of Zen existing, considering that Zen's avatar form is still like 2 above him.
If Zen showing up did the emoji getting erased thing to the old one.
It really did.
Yeah.
I think most things that are alive in the Far Realm know that Zen is alive because he hasn't been dead, but the only place that he couldn't see was in Anorum. So most things are aware that Zen is around, so they don't really do much. But he did go pimp slap the old one Legion again after what happened recently.
Isn't he only gaining exponentially more power as he's removing power from more and more deities?
Yes. He can just drain their power.
Great. We have an infinitely scaling Zen out there, guys. It's a really good thing that you guys made sure he'd never come back from the field plane.
Yep.
If he ever came back, he'd be like at least 3 times as strong as he is now.
He's not killing them, though. According to Aldous, they're just suppressing them.
Yeah. Also, in regards to Zen, I don't want to suggest editing. There we go. Control F. Back up to the top of my doubt sheet. In regards to Zen and that, mentioning the ever-growing power, this is a fun fact for Christian. The Crimson Knight guys that can, mirror your powers and stuff, and are also made of like black smoke and storm clouds, are very literal, direct descendants of Zen. As in, he took a piece of himself and made life.
Oh, you mean like the main villain of Outsider?
Well, no, that's a literal fragment of Zen. What I guess counts as well, but the Crimson Soldiers as well are literal pieces of Zen that were given sentience.
Bruh. I had those guys escorting me through Aldous' mansion? That's awful.
Yes. Of course, some of them are stronger than others because they have more of the raw might, but it took half of Zen's power to make a whole new race.
Again, back on the race.
Y'all beat him?
They beat Zen at half power, and then his avatar form, which is of course weakened as well. Which is like I did the math actually. Zen's avatar form is 1/8 of his actual strength. So 2.5% of Zen's full might is what they beat, which is pretty impressive. That's more than 0.
I have one last question.
Go by all means, shoot the question.
Real quick. This one's technically a spoiler. It's also a reveal, depending on it's in your hands, you see. With what I've told you about what Venlin's going to do, is Venlin going to have a kid?
The technical answer is yes. However, Aldous would never physically ever be there. like not
Sorry.
like technically yes. But he can't do anything physically because he's off with his father, currently battling deities and traveling to other planes.
I guess he always was like this,
He's gonna like magically inseminate her from like another realm.
I'm glad you're having a great time with this here, Naomi.
I'm sorry.
Never use the word magically inseminate ever again, by the way. Never ever say that again, please. That was god awful.
I mean, I still had Ahab,
don't stop.
then all that would have made a lot more sense. But
he can quite literally spawn a child if he wanted to, though. Have his
man, just play.
I don't want to discuss this. Really. But by all intents and purposes,
yeah, we can RP it all.
By all intents and purposes, yes.
Wait, so does that mean that Aldous would be the one giving birth?
No.
He's just like a fucking male sewer. He's gonna like summon her fucking eggs.
I'm gonna sterilize Zavar in a second here.
He just shows up with like the handful.
So stupid.
Because I've made it. I mean, he can communicate, of course, but it's also been said before that he won't be back for a long time. He's got a lot of one. He didn't see his father in thousands of years, and two, they are currently off handling unfinished business and exploring. Try to think of an example now. I don't want to think of an example. I don't want to think of an example now. I don't want to think of an example. No. The way I was going to explain it would have, but I don't want to anymore.
It's like don't breathe.
Don't.
Please explain it.
Why? Why?
Albus is the turkey baster.
Magical turkey baster.
He's like magically like summons and teleports it.
It's a +3 turkey baster, actually.
It's like what's that spell that summons like the magical hand?
This Q&A's got out of hand, guys. Hey guys, this Q&A's getting out of hand. I'm sorry. I did not help earlier, but I'm sorry.
Do you not have any questions written down by the outsider crew?
No, not actually. I thought they would have, but no, none of them. Surprisingly.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, Venlin will indeed have.
Sorry.
Venlin will have kids. Yes.
A kid.
Two.
That goes crazy. What?
If you recall the ultimatum you made with Aha when you asked for the power.
Oh, that's finally the.
If you do, I hope you recall that is that you were guaranteed 2 kids, and one will be cursed.
Huh?
Huh?
She cast divine intervention without having use of it, and it had a price.
Oh.
And it was payment to a fertility goddess, so the only make it possibly happen would involve her offspring.
Damn.
I became infertile that day if I chose.
That is one. There were 3 options. I gave Kirsten 3 options. One was not being able to have kids at all, having a cursed lineage. I forgot the last one was exactly. It's in my notes.
It was a really boring, just like last one you put in there. I thought.
Yeah, probably. I think it's involved like something involving divine intervention and like healing spells or something like that. But either way, those are the 2 options. But yes, as a payment to the fertility goddess, or a pseudo fertility goddess, Aha, who brings breath into newborn children, one was to be cursed at birth, and she was guaranteed 2, to ensure that she'd at least have 1 normal kid, which was a part of Aha looking out for Velen as well, was that she'll at least give her 1 normal child, but 1 is guaranteed to be cursed.
So guys, I did it. I made the villain for the final campaign.
You never know. It could be just like the real edgy protagonist.
Have you read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child?
No, actually.
I'm kidding. Good. Don't. It's so bad.
What if it's just like? What if the curse is, just spitting bars nonstop like Killer Bee?
Why is that a curse?
You can only.
Well, I can tell you. I can tell you what the curse is because the kids are. I mean, you're having the kids.
Yeah.
I can tell you what'll happen in the game, but I can at least tell you. I mean, I think most of you have seen what your kids are getting as like birth boons, right?
What?
Yeah, you get a birth defect. Oh wait.
I said boons, like lineage-based attributes. You get your racial ability score stuff. You guys get your racial ability score stuff, but everything else I make myself for you guys, for your kids, just so you're aware.
Do we get racial?
No, I meant to be like, yeah, but Benlin's kid gets a birth. What's the opposite of a boon? I didn't.
Does that cancel it?
Well, no, I'm literally doing your racial abilities, like dark vision. I'm doing all that for you. You just get the ability score improvement of whatever your race is.
My kids have dark vision, even though they're gonna be half human god elves.
But yes, to be exact, one of your kids does not receive the breath of life from Aha that she would normally get. And since that spot's been picked up by the goddess Elia, the widow in the winds, they also don't receive that. As a part of continuing the promise to Aha, they still don't receive that breath of life when they're born.
What does that mean?
They're alive, but
born child.
Also technically not.
They're just very edgy and also constantly dye their hair black.
They don't have to. It grows naturally.
The rest will be disclosed in the next campaign, though. But
oh my god,
the curse is your child is not born with that same breath of life that most children are blessed with from deities.
I can't wait for the kid campaign where Venland's kid's gonna be like, I'm just different. I'm just not like you guys.
Trust me, it's not a phase.
Oh god.
She's edgy Venland, oh my god. One's like super bubbly and one's just edgy. It's like, hey guys, how you been? And I was like, we all die someday.
That'd honestly be like the perfect
I was born halfway there.
Like one like super excited about life and like the other one just dark everything.
They gotta be twins.
Age above you.
Yeah.
I know when you're going to die. And it will be before me.
Ben's like, okay, honey, back inside.
Okay, honey, please go to bed. It's past your bedtime. Oh god, she's fucking weird as shit.
She's looking at the wall again. Oh god, she's looking at the wall again.
What is the
It's like, honey, it's your turn to deal with the daughter.
All this is one of the Crimson guys just spawning at the doorstep. Just pets kill. I mean, they can go anywhere they want. The Crimson guys, it's literally an army of them.
Oh good, Dad sent another one.
Venland's gonna raise a kid with a fucking random generic soldier.
Honestly, I feel like
that would actually be a father. No, uncle. No, wait, grandparent. Dang it.
Honestly, I feel like the best thing is that knowing what happened to his mother and best friends, Aldous would most definitely leave at least a few bodyguards around to watch over the kids.
Venland has a harem. Fuck yeah.
They are literally fragments of Zen that only follow one emotion to assure the will of Zen.
Harem.
Which means that I have grandfathers all the time.
They can steal people's abilities, not die sometimes. Well, actually, I don't think any of them can die unless they take lightning damage. Actually, none of them can die.
Harem.
They are armored suits.
Harem.
Any other questions in regards to Campaign 3? Motherfuckers. Tangent off of Venland asking if they have kids. Any other questions about Campaign 3? This is in regards to the epilogue, anything like that. We're all done? No questions? Do I have any questions?
Do you have questions?
Let me check. Do I have questions?
Even if you don't have questions, do you have anything that you wish we asked?
I did actually have a second. Hang on. I just totally blanked on it. I had something for a minute there. Holy shit. It was there in my mind, and it just left. It's the answer to that question if I had any questions to ask. The anti-magic guy you caught in the woods. You guys never followed up on that guy.
Oh my god, I totally forgot to ask about it.
Jericho. But yeah, any question in regards to Jericho? I guess then.
What happened to him? We know literally nothing after he fucked off because we were too stupid to realize Jericho was a name and not like a code.
Jericho was his actual real name, not just his. He gave the pseudonym, of course, but they gave his real name after he left, so you could find him in the future. However, his future would be short-lived because when the Outsiders party crashed on the Isle of Call, they encountered Jericho's team that was going through the forest on a scouting run for the Coven facility. They beat Jericho's team, knocked them unconscious, but to protect the Coven base, Jeremiah killed everyone that was there. So Jericho was killed by Jeremiah after running with the Outsiders party in their campaign. Yeah. But no one, I remember no one thought about him. I'm like, no one's actually asked about Jericho to the Anti-Magic before. Like, they saw him, they talked to him, got his kind of mission of why he's going to the Isle. Because he was traveling off to the, I think he was traveling west, if I recall correctly, and you guys lost his trail to the west. He was heading off to meet up with his team that was over there, and they ran into the Outsiders party in the woods. And Jeremiah executed the unconscious guys with his multiple beams of fire he uses.
What happened to the dude that we found in the woods? That was what the fuck was he? That was like pretending to be like one of the ship hands.
That was Jericho.
That was Jericho? It was. Oh yeah. Okay. No, I'm stupid. Yeah.
No, you're fine. That was Jericho. So, any other question that I wish you guys asked in regards to campaigns 1 through 3?
Questions you ask for us. Like, if we ever did something like ridiculously stupid, this is your time to be like, what the fuck?
There were so many, I think I just forgot about the most of them, honestly. God, there's... Actually, I can look back on my in-game notes, I feel like, and that might give me some insight into what I might have been wanting to ask at the time. There were a lot of in-game notes. You guys, I think motherfuckers always had some fucking ultimatum shit we're trying to do. I don't think I actually any questions, really. If I did, I didn't write down my own questions because I was preparing for you guys' questions, honestly, by having my note sheets open and stuff like that. I should.
Unprepared DM.
I'm not a DM.
Yo, where's the map for the questions?
I'm the one. I don't need that. I don't need all that. I'm trying to think, actually. I'm pretty sure I had another question in campaign 2 that I wanted to ask, but I can't recall it now. It's been a while.
Wait, what are you asking questions for?
If I had any questions to DM for the players.
Yeah, that's our question.
That was the question. That was the question they gave me. Sorry. The question for me is if I had any questions. And I mentioned Jericho.
Yadical.
Yeah, Yadical. Additionally, what else do I have there? I don't think.
Why are y'all such passive RPers?
What do you mean?
Do you know how many times I accidentally took center stage of RP for like a whole session?
Because we let you.
I know. It's like, come on.
He's like, that's my problem.
What do you mean?
You gotta remember, I mean, Tarkin only had 2 campaigns to be center stage before.
Man, that whole session of me talking to the guy in the forest while I was floating. That's like the whole session.
Yeah.
What session was that?
That's when
You found Jericho.
found the missing... Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't the whole session.
So it wasn't the whole session. Let's say it like that.
It was most of the session, and by the end of it, half you were like, "Bro, how do you talk like that, bro?
What?
Bro, what do you talk like that? Why do you make everyone's voice Divine's voice? Bro, why do you talk like that, bro?
What do you mean talk like that?
I think it was you and Divine specifically.
What were we saying?
It was the way I was weaving my words in the conversation.
Weaving.
Yes, I was
This
very...
is a fucking tapestry, alright?
Yes, sir.
I have so many years to do it. I can weave the best.
Huh? I hate this. This is stupid. It's dumb.
I actually don't remember what you're talking about.
Check the Venlin fade.
The what?
Huh?
The Venlin's got a fade.
Under the wig.
No, it's like it's not like an undercut, and like the bob just comes over.
Grant me wig.
Honestly, that's the real question. Is Alex even a guy? Like,
What?
that's what I'm saying.
What was the question?
Energy doesn't have a dick.
Oh my gosh, wait.
He can magically.
That's what I'm saying.
He just creates a spectral dick?
No, wait, guys.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Instead of Divine Intervention Aha, I can say Divine Intervention Aldous.
Oh my fuck! No! I didn't think about that! No!
Divine Intervention Aldous.
Don't.
You always say it so aggressively, like you're not talking to a fucking deity. Like they're your fucking like maid or something. You boss around.
I'm kind of trying to strike
this whole
fear.
campaign.
I'm trying to strike fear into everything around me. It's because I'm summoning God power right now.
You are, but it just sounds so rude. You're like, I cast divine.
You thought I trashed Aha so hard at the mirror.
What?
Remember we were talking to our gods in the mirror, and I started talking to Aha, and I was like, "Yeah, how's your power doing?" She's like, "I can barely get to you." I'm like, "Well, that sucks, huh?"
Yeah.
L plus ratio.
Trashing your god.
Sucks to suck, nerd.
And then it turns out I was the only reason she was alive anymore. That feels bad.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was playing for a while.
Yeah, so did a god die for you guys? Didn't think so.
A few.
No,
Winston.
The god of war.
Hey, oh my God.
The god of war in the material plane, the old god of death, died fighting Zen for them.
It's not the same.
It's not.
If they were strong enough, they wouldn't have lost.
Crazy. The Demogorgon was there. They all got clapped by Zen.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Both gods of death died for the party, and the Demogorgon, and the god of war.
Mantra.
That's crazy. It really is.
Did Winston ever die?
Yes.
Oh, he got his head cut off that one fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so why did Peter commit suicide?
Peter.
Peter's been alive for... Put the notes. Keep in mind, Peter is a human man. He's been alive since... That's too far back. Where the fuck did it go?
At least since the first time Zen was a problem.
Yep, I'm trying to find it right now. He's been alive since... He's been alive for over 1,000 years as a normal human being.
Just
His entire family is dead. He has no bloodline. He's got friends, of course, but he's been alive for 1,000 years, cursed into an inanimate object while keeping his conscious.
Turn it back.
He really?
I asked him so many times if he wanted to be turned back into a person.
You could not. I'll say it now. You cannot have turned him out of that. It was Zen cursed him to be turned to an inanimate object.
Bruh.
You would not remove that curse. I mean, you could cast a spell to remove the curse, but it would have been a DC check for that against Zen's spellcasting DC.
Yeah, I could have tried.
You could have, definitely. The DC, however, if you recall, Zen's DC was a 30 for his spells.
He doesn't have his armor.
That's to break his armor. All of his DCs are 30, I'm pretty sure.
Damn, alright, shit.
You could have tried, but again, Zen set that curse. Zen set that curse for a reason.
Bring it on, Tyrant!
Fine, we have enough time. I just keep doing it until I got a nat 20.
Again, it definitely is possible, but...
DC with 30 stats.
Y'all really was so...
I mean my AC.
You were all really so goofy in a different plane of reality, your bag said, I can't do it with these guys anymore.
It's funny though, because in his past life, he was like one of the most renowned informants that that Brimstone had.
Yeah, that's why he got assigned to us as a bag.
Yeah, he had the most information on the last war because he was working as a double agent for Zen and for the Mage Council. Skilled enough to fool Zen and the Mage Council. What's up?
Didn't they just leave him in a room before they gave him to us?
Nope, he helped the Mage Council with the planning stuff because he had a lot of past knowledge.
Do you realize that leaving him in a room would have been like legitimately torture by definition?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking. I was like, wait.
Nope, he just hung around with the Mage Council most of the time.
I mean, usually torture has a motive, so leaving him in a room would be worse. So you don't
any
have
questions involving any direct NPCs? I guess we'll go to a more vague thing. Any questions regarding like
Tyrant?
Any questions regarding like Akari's regarding Akari, Zetsi, Belloir, Samuel, Slade, Johan?
Wait. How much did the party suggesting things increase the military power of an arm?
Shinra telling them how the military and Brimstone work. And Inquisitors, yeah. Decided they decided we need a stealth unit. We don't have any stealth specialized units. And also they were like, we don't have magic or elementally enhanced weaponry. Let's make some bullets that can do different stuff. So anytime a bullet that slowed you or stunned you or that burned you a bit more was used, it's because Divine helped them.
Bruh.
The advisors, it's because Divine helped them.
It was all Divine?
He sat in the royal court and spoke to the princess and a card regarding the technology of the material plane for like an entire night, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was so I could get out of jail sooner, right?
Pretty sure, yes.
Yeah.
That's my
I remember I was pissed because I was like, why? Why are you telling them all this shit? We might have to fight them later.
Any question involving Samuel, Slade, Johan,
I love
Herschel,
Tamina.
Belluar, Akari, Zetsu.
Pulp Fiction.
Any questions
Saying that
involving
it's what, Johan?
any questions involving any of the NPCs you guys met? The mayor, Scholar's Kin, Tenna. Literally any NPC from campaigns 1 through 3.
Who were the guys that showed up at the mansion and broke the planar gateway?
The Realm Walkers.
That was the Marcus.
Fucking Ray's group?
Yep. They made a deal.
Yeah.
I see they made a deal with the Coven to break them for some reason.
Piss cannon.
Actually, I can tell you now. Well, no, I can't tell you now.
I'm gonna aim the piss cannon at Mason.
I hope he's listening.
No, he's not. He's at a convention right now.
Aw,
Yeah,
damn.
more like conventionally
Pissed on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any NPC questions that you want to answer? Anything about like who they were, what someone was? Nope, nothing. No NPC questions.
Also boring.
You're boring, bitch.
I've asked like 10 questions on my own.
I've asked a couple.
Any questions regarding any bosses? Any questions regarding locations? I'm trying to give you guys prompts right now. like a school English teacher.
What if we actually fought the outside?
Come on, everybody.
Fought them or fought with them?
Fought them. Well, would we have fought them, or do you think we would have teamed up?
They wanted the old one dead, so you probably would have fought with them unless you caught them when they were invading Arcanus. And then they were on a
I think
mission.
we were about to catch them when they were invading Arcanus, didn't we?
Because we
did
were
catch
them.
them.
Because they hurt Joshua.
You guys were going to catch up to them for a while, but you stopped and went somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you fought them, in all honesty, I think other than Eric, they would have beat most of you guys.
I would have party.
No. I don't think you understand how overtuned some of their
Oh,
items
we never
were.
did the bar. We never did a party fight.
I
Yeah,
wanted
no,
so
do you-
bad.
Do you know what the hell he gave their cleric? He had gauntlets that if he was in the range of an AoE, he could just absorb the damn thing.
Ah, that's cool.
One of them had a sword that. One of them had a 15-foot sword that could restrain you and pull you towards them.
They were nuts. Freaking Kostra would stun constantly.
They had a spell that can make you vulnerable to all damage.
You know, they were insane.
They were tuned for combat heavily. I had to make you guys tuned for combat by giving you abilities and weapons. They themselves made classes that were tuned for combat.
They from the beginning were like.
Yes, they were also veterans when they made their characters. You guys made your characters when you
That's
were
true.
beginner D&D players.
This is my first,
And they had to
this
do
is my
a
first
stealth.
campaign.
Yeah, like I think save for Eric, just because most of them are really good at martial combat, any of your martial files would have gotten swamped in an instant.
I
So
can
like
fly.
Shinra, you can fly, but so can Noko. Is the problem?
Can he permanently fly?
He has a cloak that allows him to fly because of a creature he killed in Ulam.
Dispel magic.
That is true. You could, but like Aaliyah and Shinra, Aaliyah would buy time, but as soon as if any of the outside members went down, they would have gained up on Aaliyah in an instant to make sure she went down first.
Wait. How effective would the anti-magic sphere be?
Not very, because other than Felix, well, even if Felix has multi-attack, he can make 2 attacks. But you remember they have a monk and basically a barbarian fighter hybrid.
God damn.
So just those 2 alone don't need mags to whoop ass. They would have no magic sword, but they could still cut people down. And they also had the training from the Commissar, so they could all potentially resist going unconscious at least twice in combat. No, sorry, at least once in combat. They had the unyielding spear thing that all of the conquerors from Ishtar had, where they could just not go down. Like they were a force in the battlefield.
Dang.
If you fought with them, though, the old fight would have been a lot easier. Because you would have had all of them on your side.
What if we got to the old one sooner?
He would have been a lot weaker.
I really could have just asked, is Gilgo on this aisle? Is Gilgo on that aisle to Aha?
Well, it depends also on the time, because the old one technically was never on an aisle. If you remember, when he entered, he came through a planar gateway after coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, I guess.
But it also depends on where he was.
I think it's crazy how much more information I could have gleaned if I was really clever with my question.
It is true.
Like, were there any times that I was doing that and you're like, oh my gosh, he's getting information I didn't think they'd have yet?
Sometimes. Couldn't stop it, though, so it happens.
Probably the king. That was
Yeah.
my biggest. It was just like, oh hey Aha, was the king assassinated by the princess? And you're like, oh. 10 sessions early.
Or the true sight thing with the old one thing attached to Joshua as well.
Who did that? That was Ray.
Yep. Just doing random things, like these random ass things they're just doing out of
Oh,
nowhere.
wait. My questioning is what tipped off Akari to the outsiders being a Batet.
Yes.
Which got them captured, Noko and Kastra.
They would have had Noko and Kosh in the final boss fight if that didn't happen.
What?
Man, I pissed off the outsiders so much with that one.
Yeah, they got arrested. Only two of them got arrested by Akari. Which turned out okay, because now they're with the Realm Walkers.
Wait. I didn't know that yet.
Ray took them. It was confirmed that Ray took them.
That doesn't mean that. What if they were in for jail?
The prosecutors arrived and said, Raven, Cantronus, and Marco are the Realm Walkers. when they arrived, they openly stated that that Ray was the Realm Walkers.
Just that doesn't mean that they're going to join the Realm Walkers.
Well, no, I didn't say they joined. I said they're with the Realm Walkers.
Oh, I took that as an implication of allied with.
My bad. I misworded.
Terrible DM. Absolutely abysmal description skills.
Since I have no other questions, I don't think. I'm looking through my game timeline.
You were the reason that combat took so long, Gabe.
Yeah.
Now, he used to be worse. In Outsiders, he had some really rough combat sometimes.
Oh my god.
Like, when we were fighting at the bottom of the chain, there was like literally 20 red dudes.
Yeah.
That combat sucked.
It wasn't. I mean, most of them were fighting the Conquerors, and then there was the battle, and then there was the Commissar rescue mission where you guys were getting swamped by waves of them.
Oh, you mean when one of our guys got beheaded because they partially wanted to change characters, but also it was a genuine story sacrifice?
And also, I rolled really well on the hit by. I love Ghoul. I love Ghoul so much, dude. He's chilling.
And I wild surged into a potted plant and fell 30 feet.
And got knocked unconscious instantly because
right next to someone. I was unconscious next to someone who actively beheads unconscious bodies.
It was great.
Oh,
Don't ask me how I survived, but I did.
Yeah, don't forget, he also eats them. Whether they're alive or dead, he will eat them.
Ooh, he was so cool.
Tasty.
And they kept not knowing his gimmick, and they never actually completely killed him. He got stolen away.
Yeah.
Which was really upsetting.
Well, the one, I think, because what's his face? Because Gelt and him got beat, and then the guy had to come in and save, and, like, get both of you out of there. But then Marco's like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. And he's like, hey, I don't want no trouble right now, big fella.
Yeah, but then they killed me again. Freaking Jamie disintegrating me is such a meme.
I remember. Then they killed him, and they dismembered him and burned him, I'm pretty sure, didn't they?
George tried to do some nasty stuff.
Yeah, remember in the fight in Taz's town, they like killed him, cut him to pieces, and then burned him on the stake. Yep. And they went back the next morning, he was gone.
Of course. They knew after they talked to me. But yeah, I got disintegrated, then wished back. Hey, wait a minute. If I had a nickel for every time I was disintegrated during the game...
Stupid.
What's a lot?
Which is not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
That is true.
And I was brought back like wish both times, yeah!
Any questions regarding NPCs or locations before we move on and wrap this up?
Oh, I need a full multi-page detailed lore on the bakery shop kid.
You mean Chad Bakery Shop Kid now, right?
He had the hots.
Hey.
Will he remember me forever, even though it's already been years?
You're pretty. LA, you're here. No, it hasn't been years for him. You left, what, maybe a year ago?
Is he related to the frickin' Taylor and Ulum?
No.
Dang.
The Taylor and Norm is just that, a Taylor.
And Ulum.
Huh?
The really sassy kid that they all went and shopped with in over in the Ulum area.
Oh,
it's like, oh, hey there, guys. Oh, what's that? You're trying to buy a suit?
All these kids are just they're all just descendants of the same, like, parent who's a really sassy Taylor.
It's
all
the Emperor's children.
All the kids that you meet. Those. Funny enough, I'll tell you after the thing. But any other questions regarding any NPCs or characters or locations? Anything that was like watching, like, whoa, I wonder what this person is like, or I wonder who they are.
Are there any maps we never saw?
No. Yeah.
How the hell were they not finding Kellic? He was right there.
Finding him? We mean finding Kellic.
He was right there. They both wanted him.
Oh, in Zetzi's shop?
Yes.
Oh, the princess knew who he was the whole time.
Yeah, what about...
Zetzi worked for the princess. Tenna, he couldn't just deploy scouts like that. But also, you gotta remember that. You gotta remember that Akari works for Kellic. If there were spies that were going to try and find Kellic, there wouldn't be.
I'm like, dude, just any like random citizen who happened to also be an anti-magist, because most of the kingdom was at that point. It's just like, I'm gonna go to Zetzi's shop, and then they noticed Kellic was working for Zetzi.
Well, if you also recall, Kellic was also usually in the back room. If you're ever in the front, it was during like less busy hours. But additionally, fun fact, considering the king also died 5 years prior. So
silence, Eric.
So when the king was killed, Kellic was still being tutored in the like castle grounds himself.
Wow.
He wasn't really seen in public, other than like maybe once or twice. But also, again, if anyone spotted Kellic and had a chance of reporting it, Akari would handle it, whatever it took.
Akari's so cool. Until he got brainwashed.
He was still pretty great then. I liked him. Come talk about it. It's no problem.
Was his tea laced? Ever?
Nope.
I knew it.
Not a single time. It's all just magically produced tea. At most, he could sprinkle like herbs into the tea to make them heal you guys better, but that's about it.
Wait, so was the only trick food in the entire campaign Ken's dinner?
Yep.
My pigeons.
We don't talk about those.
He said, don't forget I drugged you all.
Yeah, Ken was given poison by the anti-magist faction for you guys, actually.
I can't believe he targeted who he did.
If well.
Ken targeted me, or how would that have went if I didn't call all this up?
We would have been fucked.
You would have been mad.
What do you mean? What do you mean? How would that went?
It was going bad when it started. They would have beaten you guys really bad.
I have to ask because it happened like turn 1. I don't have another reality to think about because it didn't happen.
They had for reference, the team that was ensuring Ken got away safely consisted of 4 people. The other, I believe, 20 were just there to beat you guys up and capture you. If they could. If they could, they were going to kill whoever they could. Whoever they deemed wouldn't be worth capturing.
God.
Which at the time, none of you seemed like you would have been a problem for capturing because they hadn't seen anyone transform before.
They would have got really pissed if they knocked me out and freaking Aldous up.
Yeah. Originally, they were there to capture you guys to try and broker your... Again, it was to try and broker the siding with the anti-magist faction route. But after they got, meteor swarmed, they were not very fond of you guys.
Still not my kills. Those are Aldous' kills.
Yeah. He'd do it again.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Any other questions at all? Any lingering thoughts about any of campaigns 1 through 3? Any NPC, any place, any story plot point, any fight that you guys had a drive to know more about that might at least pique the interest of whoever's watching this? Is that a note?
Did you get fucked over by that rose?
What's up?
Because it was used to make the portal. If anything happened, I'm still distressed that anything that happens related to the portal that was created in the norm, like anything bad that happens, we're just going to get pulled up on.
Don't laugh like that.
I can't.
Am I wrong?
I can't disclose information, but
that's an entire plot point for that.
The rose itself is the only reason. The rose being included in the construction of the device is the only reason that the prosecutors allowed you guys to use the tree at all.
Because so we can't ask what the hell the roses are.
Wait, so
the roses are very literal. like pieces of planes that have yet to take shape.
What? We just wasted a whole plane?
No, not a whole plane. It's a glimpse into a plane.
Oh.
That's why they are dangerous, because certain entities that can see something, they can go there.
Are we talking like a commercial plane or like a private jet?
Like a private jet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's glimpsing into like different like places and dimensions and worlds.
Mm.
And if certain creatures, if they get a glimpse of it, can use that glimpse alone to go there and do some bad things. Hence why they're protected.
So there's no extenuating, like the rose has been used in making the portal, and that didn't cause any adverse effects. So we're good.
As far as you're aware, you are currently good. You have not. I mean, if there's any infraction in the deal you made, you've been erased on the spot. So at least at this current moment, you're good.
Fuck! I don't like that answer.
No one's come to erase you from existence just yet, so you're good. You know?
I do like that answer though. Like, I like the idea, like 40 years from now, like just.
You're just out of a coffee shop. It's finally over.
That would be shattering from the material plane if all of us just instantaneously disappeared.
That'd be pretty amazing. I would love that. Well, like, it would be a great start of a campaign, I feel like, like...
Just the rapture.
Just a white fucking, like Neo before he pulls up the gun rack.
It's like Thanos snapping. You guys just at different places around the world, you just start vanishing. They start calling reports. They're gone. Who's gone? They're gone. Someone surround them. I can't. They're gone. They're gone.
All your gods.
Hey yo, kill your gods to call my gods. We gotta figure this out. Yeah.
Hey yo, because Aldous wasn't there, right? So yeah, Venlin would just be chilling with Aldous and just.
I will not be chilling with Aldous for a while. He's a busybody.
Busybody.
He's just gay.
Man got no body.
He literally has a body.
He is
the hottest man in the campaign.
Body is like clothes for him.
No, he literally has a body.
No, that's
any other questions, guys?
How much stronger was the old one because I revealed Aldous and Winston's location?
He hadn't absorbed their powers yet, so no, he wasn't that really much stronger.
Oh.
However, had you guys arrived any later, he would have absorbed their powers and they'd be dead.
You say that, but in reality, you wouldn't have let that happen.
No, they'd be gone.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, Zen could try and bring them back, because he is able to unleash the soul. If you recall, he did release the souls of the ones that the old one had captured previously. So it's but that's all if you guys beat him, which would be a lot harder, because he'd be stronger, because he'd have Aldous and Winston's powers.
Would Lauren have quit if Gale didn't die?
No.
Pissed. I need to wish Gale back.
You know, Lauren low-key had a thing for Gale.
Oh, what if I...
It was very, very, very low-key, and then Winston arrived.
I hate that so much.
And she is naturally a flirtatious character, and also likes a challenge.
So, wait. If I grabbed a powerful wizard and said, use a wish for this, please. For Gale to be back,
It's up to the prosecutors.
That's the scary thing. Like, hey, could you wish for this? Oh yeah, sure. What the hell is that?
So, I mean, the spell could go through, but again, if the prosecutors, were like, nah, this one's staying here for a bit longer, he won't be just sent back to his body.
I don't imagine Gale has much of a life they care about keeping.
Yeah, he might just be sent. He might be sent to some other world somewhere.
Oh crap! Use the wish to bring Gale to us, the other version of Gale.
Some big bat arrives. Where is this? I was the moment from conquering the world and having my victory. Where am I?
Awful. Zenlin starts another campaign plot point.
Well, yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap this up at 10:30. So, are there any last questions? Or are we...
Can you recap the whole campaign?
No, please.
One last recap.
one last recap.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be way longer than wrapping up at 10:30.
To recap the events of this entire storyline. A band of misfits and adventurers and students and potential soldiers were sent off on a journey to restore connection with the state. In the process, they discovered a deeper plot, invasion, an unknown magic circle, lost family members. Through victory, there was still a sense of dread and defeat, as beating one villain spawned another, much more powerful one, that nearly toppled all of the planes known to exist. Through sheer willpower, poor planning, and a whole bunch of allies in a last-ditch effort, a push was made. The mightiest foe vanquished, a deal struck. But not before this group was ushered off through a Terran space-time to an unknown place in a void of stars and frozen deities and entities and other worlds, where they encountered others from their home that were trapped there longer than they were. While maneuvering political situations in the best way they could, which was not directly addressing it, but while also directly addressing it, the party managed to find solace and safety, however minimal, in this new location, in this foreign land, with these new people and allies. Families were united on a cosmic and kingdom scale. Friends were lost, taken. Powers were granted, others removed. The official conclusion of a war came with the death of one last deity, and with some lingering behind from the first group that emerged from Brimstone, they returned to a familiar but different home, where they reconnected with old faces and loved ones, established holds in this world for themselves that will linger through time, potentially, and created just enough of a gap in the world's knowledge and power to leave them wondering what happened on the other end. However, as they found content lives and others were left stranded on new places, a new journey began that'll be picked up in some time in the future. But until then, with the Q&A over and my recap concluded, that's what we'll call tonight. I do a bow. I do a bow. Good night, everybody.
Applause.
I'll be here all week.